Shit. Ninja? Ninja! Ninja!
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern. And let's see, this is episode 1251. So 1,251 times we've gone live, starting back in 2016. And every single night, every single weeknight, we've been live. If you do the math, yes. So today we let's see, what's it saying here? Okay, the title's not important. We got some stuff in the description here. We'll be going over to start the show out, and then we'll invite people in to have a discussion to evolve our conversation about Second Amendment. I don't have a new puppy. All puppies are baby puppies until they get really old, and then they're old baby puppies. So that's just the name of that dog. But that's how I'm starting the show out with. So I was sitting there thinking about it. I usually type in there something about I'm going to take the dog outside, and that's what I do. I take the dog outside and I walk out back, and she does her business, right? So for me, that's the routine for this show, at least. And since this happens every single weeknight, that's a routine weekly or daily, I guess, a good chunk of the week. So I'll get whatever projects I'm working on. And the time of the day comes along, I take the dog out, right? So that gives me an opportunity. I appreciate it. I don't do that. Let the dog out the backyard and then yell at her when I want her to come back in. I take her out there and stand out there with her. Number one, she's a fluffy puppy, and I don't want her to get taken away by a raptor or a condor or something. But also because I enjoy going out there. I live in Tucson, where we don't have much light pollution. We have some really important telescopes in southern Arizona. And it was already a very dark part of the country because we don't have a lot of population out here. So laws and people conceding to the greater whatever situation or whatever decided to all use different types of bulbs that don't really throw much light into the air. And as a result, we get a pretty decent sky. We can see the sky from anywhere in town, and pretty decent, really. A little better if you get out of town, but anyway, it gives me a chance to go out there and check out the sky. And I don't know about you, but that's looking backwards in time. It's looking at a whole bunch of universe out there, and all that black stuff between the dots is stuff. That's the other universes that are beyond our particle horizons, all the other multiverses out there that we can't even see. So that's some neat stuff, looking up into that and then breaking that routine. Taking my dog will usually help me stop whatever I'm doing. Sometimes the show, other shows on at night or whatever, somebody will cork right up to this show. But, whatever, it breaks the routine, gets me from working on stuff that's, hopefully educating or inspiring or informing people, in one level. Brings it right home to the dog needing to go outside because her biology, is only so big, she's little. So she needs to go outside. That helps keep a cycle going in our lives, and then takes us out to the big giant spectrum, right? And that's how I start this show. And then I come in here and we start this show. So sort of a palate cleanser, except I use the universe instead of sorbet or sherbet or whatever it's called. So I don't know if y'all have a habit or if you have procedures on stuff, but if you listen to business or how to life coach or how to improve a sport, like an athlete or something, like improve performance and stuff like that, often they'll focus on habits or use habits as a way to influence routine, and then that influences action. So with some intent, you can get some amazing results from that. So we're going to start the show off with that today, and then we'll start digging in with what we got going on here. So the title of the show is, will 2021 be a repeat of last year's 2A fight? Obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same. Or will we evolve it, right? You can either sit around watching other people, wait for them to evolve it, or be part of the evolution. It's pretty easy. There's not one person in the Second Amendment realm anywhere that isn't just a regular person that just decided to start doing stuff. So nothing's stopping you from being the next. You're already the next, honestly, if you're even thinking about it, if you're even looking at it from that direction. Will 2001 be a repeat, or we will evolve the conversation, the community, and the fight? I think when you evolve the conversation, the community is aware and reacts. Now, it's possible that they'll be like, ew, I don't want to, blah, blah, blah. And then just, I've definitely experienced that. But I suspect it'll also change for the better often as well. And then when that happens, what does our fight do? Does it get easier or more difficult to fight? When we've got more resolve and more confidence and more wins and more skill set, are we better off? And is the opposition more interested in fighting us? Unfortunately, it's always a fluctuation. It's always a cycle, right? So we're going to get better and stronger and gooder, and then they're going to back off, and then we'll forget what it's like to win and to fight, and we'll get weak, and then they get strong. And, it's a cycle, and that's where we're at. We got to realize that. And sometimes you arm wrestle, and sometimes what's the opposite of arm wrestling? Whatever that is. So other the gun chats are out there pampering you. We challenge you. So here's some of the homework that if you're 2A enough, you took a look at some of these videos so that you can bring, stuff from these other videos to the conversation, or something just as valuable. I'm not saying I've seen everything for sure, but in order to advance the conversation, let's see what we got. So I did a thing earlier with some eBay auctions. I got to pay bills, it turns out. I tried not paying bills for the last 2 years, and it really doesn't work out real well. So selling everything I got, and that'll be happening on eBay, which is, of course, making it super easy by making it so you can't use regular PayPal anymore. So honestly, I haven't even figured that out, but I did have auctions ending today. So we went live for a little while and basically failed to attract anyone to buy anything at the auctions, but somebody bought a deck of cards. So thanks for that. The Polite Society podcast went live with an actual 2A thing and not just pandered. No, is that pandering? No, that's selling out. Polite Society is the opposite of selling out. They're over there putting out consistent live effort. They had pretty much everybody on except a couple of the regulars today, and talked to a guy who, what the hell was his thing? He was, I think he's just a shooter. I think he's like a competition shooter is his thing. Obviously, he's gone through some different challenges and adapted and then overcome. So he had some interest. He kind of told his story, and then had the different 5 hosts, I guess, kind of keeping the conversation going about his story for a bit. I know a couple of people were in there watching, so we'll see if we talk about that tonight. Fireside chats. Crump had Shooting Gallery New England. It's a big scam because later Clover had that guy on also. So that was some sort of collaboration, I'm sure. Biker Bob, who owns half of this show. That means he owes half the money for this show. Put up a video for like 11 minutes last night. So if you know where to find him, go find it and look at that video. He's being mopey. So Bob needs some, whatever a version of Canadian cheering up is. I guess it's a beer. And then Ohio Governor Mike DeWine signed, that was Budget Guns and Gear posted a video. And so it was kind of neat. We had, for a minute there, 3 different live chats going. It was Crump, and then Polite Society were both on. And you know how Budget is. He has to cork. So boom, he double corked, basically. It became a 3rd show. But that was kind of neat because it does show 3 facets of the 20-sided dice that is 2A, right? So, you never know what you're going to find out there. It gave me an opportunity to post on Instagram and further alienate anybody who used to like my just posting pictures with another boring Second Amendment post. But I think that's kind of what we got coming up this year. So I'm going to go over here and click on the StreamYard link. Oh, I guess I haven't been screen sharing this whole time. The whole point of that was to screen share. So act like I screen shared this whole time. If it was professional, I would have been screen sharing. But anyway, I'm going to take this link here and I'm going to post it over here. And if you want to join in, be part of the show, do so. And we'll evolve the conversation, eventually be so strong that Bloomberg and them waste their money on something else. And we hand down a decent set of action plans and easy exercises for future generations to, defend liberty and whatnot. And in the meantime, get a bunch of cool belt-fed stuff, cheap, come up with some kind of new ammo that's biodegradable, cheap to produce, easy to, or not to, it doesn't wear down barrels, have to buy a bunch of different barrels. We'll start talking about stuff like that instead of boring grip options. Or don't. So I guess I threw the link out there. We'll see if anybody shows up. If anybody's got the 2A enough, what would it be? If anybody's 2A enough, I guess. Somebody needs to marry Bob. I tried gay marrying Bob, but it didn't work out. Bob needs to come to America, but we're not accepting, not that kind of immigrants. Bob's story was powerful. I think I'm going the wrong way. DJ was here. Angelina was here. First while I was out there. No, not a new puppy, just the baby puppy. Mississippi's out there. So that means we got, look at this. Boom. Washington State. Boom. Mississippi State. I'm just saying that kind of looks like California. I don't think it was intended to look like California, but from a little tiny dot on the screen, kind of looks like California. Could be somehow drawn to be California, shape of California. Just saying. Everybody else doesn't care that much about their state, at least not enough to have the shape of their state. All right, well, the ex-cop on Polite Society podcast. Yeah, he was a cop who had gotten himself, that sounds shitty. He got hurt and then was able to plow on through that, I suppose you could say, and continue to do neat stuff, and then became a competition shooter. Banana Mag Patch. Where is that from? Century. I think first year Century. They made one version where, I show this on here. I can't put my screen. Can I put it over here? I guess I can. They made one version where this was just a sticker, and then I think that's the version I have. And then I think their next year's version, they actually put their logo right on it because they probably figured out people. Well, the sticker fell off because it was literally just a sticker, but I think they figured out that no one knew what it was. They knew they knew the joke or whatever, but they didn't know that Century paid for those and gave them to everybody for free, like the ultimate bad version of marketing. All right, well, I guess there's no show tonight, so went all the trouble of making this fancy new intro with a ninja and violence and rap and babies and whatnot and Rambo in it. But is that Ram Bob? I don't know what to call that. But nobody's jumping in, and that means everybody's too scared or not 2A enough. Nothing to do, but do you watch Adventures with Purpose on YouTube? I guess there's no reason to do 2A anymore, so let's go look at it. Some guy who scuba dives.
Top 10.
Boom, so that's how you figure out what's going on with the channel. Go to the About tab. The girls in here. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Webb.
So let's see. Some guy named. You ever heard of this place? Adventures with Purpose.
No. What is that?
I have no idea. Let's see. So scuba diving, treasure hunting, activist, waterways for ecosystem, filming, blah blah blah. Says a bunch of words. It's got his Bend, Oregon. It's got his address and stuff right on there. And 78,000 or 78 million views. That's pretty damn good. That's like everybody in California twice. Everybody in California watched these videos twice. That's pretty good. 1 million subscribers almost. Looks like some sort of a thing where I have no idea what this is all about.
I'm looking
Looks
at
like
it now.
pull stuff up underneath the water, probably. People that when I was younger, I heard about doing jobs underwater, and you would get big money for doing jobs underwater. You know, whatever the job was, like underwater, paid more. So I can't imagine. In fact, back in the olden days, when we before there was YouTube, we knew some people that worked on offshore stuff, and half of what they were doing was just welding and stuff underwater, and they would get paid a lot of money. So if that guy's like that and he's making a bunch of money pulling stuff up, imagine that's pretty good. What's the word? Like good equation for a YouTube channel. It's finding all kinds of
Okay.
guns, cars, and shit.
So I'm browsing his channel. I don't know if you're screen sharing. So I think I kind of just got a boner because one of my like top favorite things is like unsolved mysteries and like like the like murder shows and shit. And anyway, I think this dude is like solving fucking cases because like one is like 7-year-old missing persons case and they're pulling a car out. Um, there's another one too. So like I think he's like this is like a collision of two worlds for me of like my murder shows and then like pulling weird shit out of a lake.
That's actually pretty interesting then. So he's out there looking for stuff, but then inevitably, I guess, or maybe intentionally, he's discovering stuff that turns out to be the answer to some missing person, basically, like somebody fell off the thing or maybe committed suicide or whatever the story. But yeah, he's discovering it. That's interesting.
Yeah, and there's actually, as I scroll through, because I'm scrolling through, there's actually quite a few solved missing persons. Like, it seems like it's not just like a one-time thing, but like it happens to this guy all the fucking time.
Yeah, so I was saying those missing persons thing, and I thought, okay, he's some sort of activist. Like he's got him 800,000 views, and he's just like letting people know about missing kids or missing old people. But I see what you're saying. These are more like he found these people that had been missing.
Hey, there's one that says found 2 stolen AR-15 rifles underwater in a lake. Oh, found shotgun.
I was going to say, I think this same guy has found all kinds of guns, and a lot of them were crime ones.
Well, that's usually the situation, right? Like, I mean, every once in a while it happens accidentally, I suppose. But
Found
that's also got to be good if you get your gun stolen and then this guy finds them, and now you can go, oh, okay, good. Idiots just threw it in a lake or whatever.
Right.
Right on. No, I haven't seen that one before. So that's erstwhile. Let us know about that one. Or I mean,
all
I
right,
haven't
good,
seen.
good suggestion. Oh, here's Bob. Bob, you're on the hook for some cash. So whenever you got that.
Wait, what?
Bob owes like some money because he owns half the show.
Oh, yeah. He knows all about it. That's why we both live in basically converted aluminum sheds. Not the fancy kinds you get at Home Depot today, but the kinds that they made in the 70s and people keep handing down. We each have one of those. All right. So, what was this idea that you wish you had? You're trying to hork? Oh, the banana mag?
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, there's some other ways you could do that. You could do some stuff with that still. I think there's plenty of room in that arena. What do I say? All right. So, anything else? Anybody want to chat about any of the stuff that was on the list? We got some heavy hitters in here today. So, even though we threw the link out there, it looks like people self-filtered. Only the two A-ist of people jumped in, or I don't know what happened. People can't click no more. Give out a gold thing. Nobody wants to click and nobody wants to join in anymore. Pro tip: never give out gold patches. All right, so what's up? What are we talking about? Or is the show over already? Over before it started, 20 minutes in.
I don't know. I mean, what's going on? What's like what's going on in the world or whatever. The world's depressing. Never mind, I don't want to talk about that.
I don't know. I think that we had a chat with Honda, or Honda had his chat. He throws me a link every once in a while, and if I'm not doing something or I feel like not doing something I'm supposed to be doing, I'll jump into his chat. So I did, and somewhere in there, I was saying, oh, what the hell? Something about, I think it was the ammo thing. Like, I don't think the ammo thing is going to take as long as everybody seems to think to correct, or whatever the word would be. Like, come back to whatever the hell normal is going to be, come back to a normal state, whatever, for a while. And they just wouldn't accept it or whatever.
Yeah,
But anyway, so I was saying, what?
A lot of them are like, the sky is falling, because they like to say the sky is falling when the sky is never falling.
I guess that's what I guess. No, I mean, sometimes sky falls or whatever. I'm not going to shit on people. It's just that's the point I was trying to make, is that I've seen posts to this effect, I guess, trying to get the same point across, but you are what you eat, right? So if you go out there and look for, skies falling, rainy days, ammo's never going to come back, then that's all you're going to perpetuate that, right? But if you look at the optimistic side, then you start hearing all these different things. And, since we don't really know, we have to just wait it out anyway. It's like, do I think about all the ways that it could end, or do I think about all the ways that it could never end? And since we seek out what we're looking for, unless we're just literally sitting on a couch and letting it come to us, some of that is make the decision what to click. You click the this or that, or maybe don't click on either. And I've been choosing that for a while, and I think I'm doing all right. Just not paying attention to the really divisive stuff that, that they're attempting to throw out there as main courses. I think not they, the world is throwing out as the main courses of news, and it's really just super divisive and doesn't have any immediate anything. It just gets people pissed at each other. But anyway, so that was my example of with the ammo thing, that you can either choose to look at the pessimistic side or choose to look at the optimistic side, or I guess a third option is not to look either way, right? So that you just plow through or not pay attention at all. And I don't know, is there an advantage or disadvantage? There's probably some advantage to any argument, right? Or there must be some to every argument.
I think you definitely have to be selective on the things that you're going to be worried about, because you in anything in the world, you can find that somebody can give you 1,000 things that are wrong with it, but you got to find the 2 or 3 things that are probably right with it, because it's easier to say everything sucks than it's going to be like it's going to be great.
Okay, repeat that again, because it's probably good. I was reading Bob's thing here and it made me think
I
about
went through it while I was talking. I'm like, fireballs, and then I lost track of what I was saying. I think it's like that whole that middle ground that sometimes you just have to tune it out. Like, and there's some value in that. Like, if it's too much rhetoric, you can take a couple days off and just like get away from it for a minute, because then you hear the sky is falling too many different ways. And I'm not like trying to shit on anybody, but like, people get like that, and then you can come back with a new idea, or at least a refreshed like outlook. Because I think without having a positive outlook, what's the point of life? Like, what's the point?
So I hear you, and maybe another way I'm hearing that is to remember it's a volume switch, like a knob, I guess, instead of on-off switch. So you can, and that you don't have to just leave it, right? You can turn the volume down once in a while, have it just somewhere in the background so you can monitor it, or turn it up because you're rocking out to it, or just have it somewhere in the middle to tune out some other bullshit that's happening. But how much emphasis you want to apply to it, or how much, I guess, how much concern you want to give it, or whatever is, this is fluctuating, or it's a slider switch. It's not an on-off.
Does that also come with the, like, you know how long I've been in the 2A? It hasn't been long since I was in gun channels, which maybe 2-3 years now, but learning from you guys over time on what's the things that are actually important and pay attention to, and what's the things that I can probably turn down the volume because I've heard it before. And you're like the super example of that. Like, you've heard all the rhetoric 1,000 times. Like, when people want to bring up something that you've heard 15 times, and you're like, okay, well, I watched this show before. I know where this goes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting sick of that. But no, that's good. And just FYI, you're like 10 times more than most people. I'm trying to figure out how to to judge everyone, right? Because that would be ideal, right? How to just judge everyone, put them in some sort of order. But seriously, like how long people stick around. Think about people. Everybody, sit here and think about it for a second. How many people have come and gone since you've been in the game, right? If you're listening to this show, you're already like better than everybody. You just know it already, right? Now, there's all these other people that act like they're two-way, but they're not watching this show. You know what I'm saying? So think about how many people are out there acting like they're two-way, and they are, I guess, to some extent, right? Like a 9mm shooter is still a gun owner, right? They have all the rights as a gun owner and everything. They just can't shoot a real caliber. So there's tons of people out there that are two-way or whatever, but like think about how many people have come and gone. And then think about the people that left. It's not like, I mean, a couple of them are like, well, screw it. I don't like the way he said that I'm not 2A. Now I'm not 2A anymore, right? It's just that they've gone somewhere else to do their 2A or, oh, I'm 2A enough or whatever. So everybody's like come and gone for some reason. Every once in a while, somebody gets taken out at the knees, right? Like Bob. He did not decide, I don't like 2A anymore. He had external influences, right? Like grab him down so he can't do as much 2A as he wants. But, everybody has that, so everybody's got a different story about it. So I'm just saying, in your experience, think about how many people. So that gives you some idea, or is that a way? Maybe that can give you some idea of how 2A you are, like how many people you've seen come and go. And, just a way to have a barometer, because I don't know how to tell you, but it seems like Wood's been around a lot longer than, because it's not like, I don't know. I don't know when you came on the scene because I don't keep track of everybody yet. But you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you've been on the scene 3 years. Well, if Smeggy was on the scene 3.25 years, but it was shifted by 4 years, it's really tough for me to keep track until I get a robot brain. So until we got robots keeping track of everybody who's how 2A they are, y'all have to keep track of how 2A you are on your own. But there's ways to do it. And like I say, you can kind of keep an idea of how long other people around you have been in the game, and maybe there's a way to use how many people have been adding to the mix, like how large the crowd has gotten since you've been there.
Yeah, true. I'll buy that. Like how many times do we talk about exactly what, and all of a sudden Walt comes along and actually articulates it much better than we tried to do it.
I blame him when he doesn't, but I hear you exactly.
Yeah.
So Bob is out there talking about the fireballs, so we'll go back to that. So none of y'all have seen the fireballs then?
No, I want to know more though.
Have you seen the
I've
movie
not
Greenland?
personally seen a fireball in the sky, but I've seen local video.
You've seen the videos. So have you seen the movie Greenland, the new movie that's out right now?
No.
It's a bullshit movie, like it's apocalypse type. It's okay, but it's like an apocalypse. Have you seen the movie 2012?
No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about with 2012. It's like the world is falling apart and this one family has to dodge buildings falling over and stuff exploding. And it's just like a weird action movie where the world is literally melting and falling apart in slow motion. And this family runs around like, mice getting, just barely escaping all kinds of pitfalls and craziness and bridges collapsing. So it's similar to that, this movie Greenland, except that it's meteors or something hitting some giant meteor comes along. I think it smacks the moon. I don't know. Something happens. I don't want to spoil it, but basically a bunch of shit starts hitting the ground. And in the movie, it's like a whole bunch of CGI rocks coming towards the earth, right? In different ways, like making the Gulf of Mexico again, like big stuff that, blots out the sun type of stuff. And as that's happening, you get all this like CGI stuff. Well, that's what I'm seeing is like these really slow, like CGI looking fireballs that everybody claims are actually fireballs that have been hitting Earth. And they don't look like, like normally it just looks like a ice cream cone going backwards or something. Like these all look like triangles and weird geometric shapes and stuff. Like, I don't know. Definitely weird. Anyway, there you have Bob's talking about these. I guess he's saying there's multiples. I have only seen one yesterday on Hondas, but I guess he was saying that it's been happening. So somebody said in the last time they handed out free government money, this last time around, that they signed something that said there's 180 days before they reveal some kind of alien news.
Nice. Look forward to that.
Okay, so I'm an alien expert because I watched all of that documentary called The X-Files. And why else would the
What the hell is this?
Alien invasion.
No, turns out they scare the shit out of the world every time something horrible happens to a child now. So I guess there's a child getting hurt right now in Arizona.
I got
No,
two.
in Washington. In Washington. So they're telling me about something that happened in Washington that they're traveling towards Arizona. So just in case me sitting here, I guess I can tell the world that it's
Was that the Lexus? Because I got the same one earlier today.
that's my phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You think that's saving kids? You're the one, Angelina. You watch these shows. Does that save kids when they tell the world like that? I mean, that's a lot of people to tell about a kid. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not shitting on it. Doesn't cost me nothing to see that a kid's hurt or missing. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's you get a lot of people looking out, and a lot of times it's just someone sees one little thing or has one little piece of information, and that's what blows the whole thing open.
So is that the Amber Alert system?
Yep.
I think so it
Yeah.
said presidential something, but I don't know if it makes a difference. Yeah.
Oh,
I was
about that. I was going to say regarding that news about aliens, wasn't it that the government is now researching alien life again officially?
I don't know. I haven't heard the actual story, but I've heard people allude to that it is more. You know, who knows what it could be. Something creepy.
Because I think I caught wind of that like last week. Someone said that the government was government agency was again studying alien life and its existence.
We're gonna go over, take a break here, and look at this, which is on Instagram right now. Unlike a lot of patch places that don't add music to their patch videos, we add music to our patch All right. Well, so I'll try to stop. I just go to the next slide. So basically, I had a bunch of the 2A patch batch from 2020 patches left over from that I held back in case there was shipping errors or whatever. So there's about 6 of each left and a little less of some. And then I took one of each, so that's 13 of the patches you see here, and put them for auction right now as we speak on Instagram. They started at 1 penny and they're now at $36 with one bid. So if anybody wants to bid on 13 patches, thank you, DJ, for making it at least over shipping. Appreciate that. But DJ is going to steal them for $36, unless you want to fight to the death or the equivalent with money on Instagram using capitalism to raise funds for stuff that we do with money. So we'll leave that over there and just let people know, because I guess it would have been a better idea to start that earlier in the day. I started it maybe 25 minutes ago, but whatever. So we'll see if anybody watching tonight. We've got 15 people watching. Want to battle it out with their capitalism over there? Get a set of patches.
So which patches do you get?
I'll go back to the thing and mansplain this one more time.
Yep.
Boom.
Here.
So we've got the oh, let me try this. I can actually do this because this kind of technology we got here. Boom. Look at that. Don't get scared. This is one monitor. This is Clover Tax patch from the Clover Patch batch. It's a little teddy bear. We got the 2 Connecticut citizens.
Wait. Have you looked at Clover's patch under a black light?
Wait a minute. Are you talking about this patch here?
The bear?
What happens with under a black light?
The orange glows and it's really awesome.
And we did that on purpose, of course. It was an Easter egg. We didn't let people know, but we weren't going to say anything publicly. But that's right.
Yeah, I discovered it.
But yeah, that's cool. Wait till you see what might be coming in the mail tomorrow. That is different but similar. So then we got the two Connecticut Citizens Defense Leagues, both the normal one and the inverted one, just like in Top Gun. We've got the Skips Tactical Solutions, last four of those. So this will get one. We've got the 2019 2A rally, first time ever that a 2A rally ever happened. And then we have an Ever Off Ammo patch from Matt, who is some dude who's on the internet. That's from the 2A patch batch from the earlier year. So there's some of them left over. We got the Wolverine squared, no, Wolverine cubed, which is Wolverine doing the Wolverine thing. We got Guns and Gadgets. We got 2A4E. We got Liberty Doll. Got Walk the Talk America, Riding Shotgun with Charlie, and a Black and Blue Every Second Matters, which I don't think they're for sale anywhere. So that's a pretty decent selection. 13 patches, and at this point, DJ's stealing them for $3 a piece. And some of these aren't even for sale. Clover lost his patches in the mail, quote unquote. Got my quote signs up. CCDL, I think they threw them in the garbage. Skip is busy doing stuff, but I think she's using her patches. Never Enough Ammo, you can't really get those. I guess you could buy them. I guess you can buy these. I don't want to know like Jared did with his. I believe he winged them. What he calls it? Liberty Doll. Never saw those again. Walk Talk America. He already gave them all away. Tony never got his. He also, quote unquote, lost them in the mail. Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Stuck them all in a shotgun barrel and shot them all. So there's very rare patches. Can't even get them anymore.
Was it the post office that lost that?
No, UPS. Two of them.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, it cost so much. And then I had to replace them. And then they're like, it was like, oh, I need to replace some that were lost in the mail. And you know how it is when you got relationships with manufacturers for a long time, you do giant orders and stuff. They're like, oh, okay, I understand what that means. And they're like, bam, they got them started like really fast. And I was like, wow, that's cool, right? I should go ahead and assume that the whole thing's going to be fast. And then that was, I don't know, like earlier this last year. And then I just got the Clover's last ones today. So yeah, that's been a horrible long process. But otherwise, if you never get kicked in the nuts and guts at the same time, how would you learn what doesn't work? Well, right? If everything was easy, then you would think everything was easy all the time.
Absolutely.
All right, so can I get a Clover patch with your cards? I don't think so because I'm pretty sure your cards are already gone. They're already in the mail. But I'll have to double check. Unless you bought them like since 2:30, they're already in the mail. Let's see. Bob's saying I gotta look at one or the other here. So I'm gonna go back to the one that I can click on that I'm paying for over here. We're paying for the duck, by the way. That's how I'm able. Oh, you can't really see it good. I'm gonna change the little puppy over here next to Angelina to this goofy looking weird thing. Would you rather have creepy Bob girl over there or puppy? You can't really see the puppy.
Puppy 1,000%.
Yeah, puppy.
Yeah.
So then let's see. Seen a lot of things locally about people seeing stuff. Oh, you're talking about the fireballs?
The Great Balls of Fire, yep.
I would think that a thing would land in the water. Like, just me. I mean, why wouldn't an alien want to land in the water? Especially if they're not trying to make a big commotion about it, because nobody lives in the water. It would cool their ship off. They could hide it. It's camouflaged immediately. There's no crater. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was an alien going to another planet and I didn't want to be making a big nuisance, I'd land in the water. And
Well,
if you're
one
landing
of
in
the alien things is that there's like a secret alien base in Malibu.
Malibu. I've been to Malibu like 3 times, so I'm pretty sure there's no alien base in Malibu. I would have
Well,
seen
they
it.
like go in the
times.
water and then like go under the water into their secret portal, so you can't see them.
Again, I've been there 3 times, and I had the door open on the van as I was sitting next to the beach, and I winged stuff into the water, trying to get the dog out there. And I feel like if there was aliens out there, I've seen porpoises out there. floating around, wild porpoises swimming around in the Malibu water where Rockford File was filmed. For all I know, same porpoises that seen Rockford Files being filmed. I've never actually seen porpoises in Rockford File, but there's nothing stopping them from swimming around off screen watching it being filmed. And how would we know?
They probably did.
How long do porpoises live? They like hundreds of years, or are they like us?
I'm gonna guess like humans, maybe 60.
For some reason, I was thinking they're like us, but then you never know because tortoises last forever. I think walruses last like 100 years or something. Walruses last a long time.
Tortoises can be almost 200 years.
Finally, we get to Clover. I don't know who he's pointing at. Is he pointing at himself over here? He's judging himself. It's weird. Then we get there's the link that anybody could use to jump in here, be part of the chat. Patriot is saying, I feel like I'm getting baited to say something. I guess I don't know what he was talking about at 10:35, what I was ranting about. Probably something good. I stopped talking because Siri and Apple are stealing all my damn spaces. Bob saying that Clover is pretty. 2A? Yes. Fake it till you make it. Let's see. Then we got Justin jumping in. One was filmed in China. Would you believe it if China said they had an alien land? If an alien was going to land, would it pay attention to the populations and land where there's the most people, or would it land where there's the fewest people, and then on their own go to the population center, or would they land right on top of population center?
Probably where the best takeout is.
Are we being really full of ourselves that alien civilization that has the power and capacity to come here would bother talking to the humans? Do you talk to anthills when you walk by them?
Well, no, but when that's one way of looking at it, I guess, if they literally were just looking for something, or if they were interdimensional or something. But if it's more of an analogy to when some people from maybe a continent find people from a smaller island or a different continent, and one of them is their culture is at a different level, or whatever that's called, where one of them has metal and one of them has mud or whatever, the differences, and one of them would be considered the behind the times or whatever, that I would think it'd be like that more, right? Like kind of like the Spock, what are they called? Vulcans versus humans, where they just were like, oh, okay, little brother, like little sister humans, like whenever you catch up, then, we'll teach you how to read the big words.
Did it make a difference when we figure out how to break the atom? And that's when we started to see more possible aliens after that?
I suspect that
when we cross something, we could kill ourselves. I
think the aliens have been watching for a while, like a long, long time. Because if you can travel from one place to another in space, you could probably hang out and not be in a big hurry, right? Because you're always, like you say, you're going to want to watch and pay attention or whatever before you just barge in, just to be polite or to be strategic, either way, right? So the aliens have been watching for a long time, and they've probably been paying more and more attention, right? The Cold War and the nuclear tensions and all that. And they're finally like, oh, okay, the world wars are dying down, and skirmishes about borders and resources are dwindling, and there's less and less, all this other stuff. But then they finally were like, you know what? I'm sick of this NFA. So they're coming down to finally get rid of this freaking NFA and let us have belt-fed, suppressed, tripod-mounted, whatever the hell we want already. Let us evolve some technology and projectiles and machines. Because they're probably free, right? Why wouldn't a bunch of free aliens be free? Amber Alert, okay. Got to check out that documentary about Los Angeles. Anybody like that one? Living in Los Angeles, was that one you watched or you did not bother?
I haven't seen it. Like, I haven't seen like every other movie.
Yeah, it's not good. It was not that good. It was a mess, let's say. It's like a bunch of students who are going to CGI school. We're like, hey, let's put all our projects together. And they're like, let's kind of all do them about LA and aliens. And then somebody was like, and boats, or like, and the army, or something, or and Air Force. And so they're all like, okay. And then 2 hours later, you're like, I watched a bunch of things happen, but I can't remember if there was a plot. If there was, it was like 100 of them. From what I
Where
remember.
in LA was it filmed?
What? What?
Where in LA was it filmed?
Even though I'm an expert in LA, I couldn't tell from that movie. I'm pretty sure they just went on top of a hill somewhere in the world and looked down and assumed that was LA. Like, oh, there's a town at the bottom of a hill. That's LA. And there's some big buildings. Like, I don't know enough about the buildings to know if it was actually even the right buildings.
Oh, a lot of it was filmed in Louisiana.
Really? It doesn't even surprise me. I was watching the new Mechanic. The new Mechanic is supposed to be like Vegas, and it's filmed in like Chicago. And it's like, well, what do you have the Chicago buildings in Las Vegas? Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's not even buildings like this in Las Vegas. There's supposed to be hotels in Las Vegas.
What are they trying to make it look like Chicago look like Vegas?
No, it's actually just the one building, but there's just that it doesn't make any sense because that building is in Chicago. And I think it's whatever that, if you've seen it, if you've seen the new Mechanic, the Charles Bronson Mechanic movie, there's a new version of that with what's his face in the transporter. And
Oh,
I think
from the guy from Italian Job?
yeah. I think it's either supposed to be Vegas or New Orleans. And either way, I'm pretty sure it's a building from Chicago or something. I might be mixing them up at this point, but I remember watching it and going, like, I remember watching it the first time and I didn't realize what was going on. And then it's something like the second or third time watching it, I'm like, that's what's wrong. This is a freaking wrong skyline, or like it was mostly like when they close up on the building and look down, it's, you're supposed to see the other city there, not, the wrong kind of water or the wrong kind of layout or whatever types of buildings.
Wait, is this fireball thing like that RV that blew up? Like,
no. This is meteors basically coming down very slow. They're giant, and when they hit, I don't think they're blowing up. So that's the other problem. We're not seeing flames.
We're like months away from the Perseids.
Can I get a patch, Clover? Well, like I say, I already sent that stuff out. Need both those 2A patches. Which one he's talking about? I bought them at 7 p.m. Eastern. Oh, you bought them this afternoon? Then yeah, heck yeah. Wait, what did you want? Can I get a Clover patch? That's up to Clover. If Clover decides that you can, then yes. Then we got, I don't know which two you're talking about. Some did land in the water. Makes way more sense if they're landing in the water that they're aliens. It's almost positive. Because why would a meteor bother to land in the water? Right? Doesn't make any sense. There's no logical reason for it. In Battle of LA, they landed in the water because water fueled their tech. Oh shit. That would be even worse. Then they could land in like Antarctica too, because that's nothing but frozen water. How long is the auction going? Oh, I was going to leave the auction go until no one's bidding on it anymore. So we're going to go over there and look again without
some hot action.
I don't see any action. There's just you.
I'll
hit refresh.
Check it out.
And now that I've refreshed, there.
And,
So now it's at 50. Oh shit! Now it's at 54. Shit! Now it's at 60. All right, don't hurt anybody. And then we're at 64. Right on. So now there is some actual action going on. And then that means that since it's hit $50, we'll just say that an achievement has been unlocked. Even though some people, I don't think they've gotten them yet, but I've already received some of the unlocking action that's been happening, or that's already happened. I don't do mine the same way that other people do theirs. We do it slower. So when the ants launch nukes at you, you would. Oh, I'm definitely way behind in the chats now. Or is Bob way behind? Oh, Bob's not going to hear this for like an hour, but Bob needs to hit live, right? He's way behind. So what do you think? Is Bob on the right track with what you were saying before, Woods? If the ants were launching some kind of ant-side nuke at you?
Yeah, but if I flew here from some other dimension or some other land, and a missile that we launched at him isn't really going to do anything to me, right? Like I already flew through space and can deal with like the radiation from the sun.
Right, exactly. It's going to be like an ant-sized nuke, which is basically an ant that bites you and it itches or something. So you're going to be like, oh, those are the ants that itch. And you're not going to have like a conversation with them or like not step on their anthill. You're just going to step around their anthill maybe as you burn down the forest that they depend on, right? Like you're not going to, I hear what Bob's saying, but I think I agree with you that it would be an ant-sized nuke. So it wouldn't bother you.
Well,
An ant-sized nuke, if you're having trouble conceptualizing it, think of a 9mm. Would not bother an alien. They'd laugh it off.
And also, if we use our own planet as an example, when the more technological group met the less technological group, it never works out for the less technological group.
Is there an exception? Come on. I know somebody's coming up with an exception to that one. I feel like there should be an exception to that. MacGyver.
Like ask any indigenous people anywhere on Earth.
I mean, you're pretty much right, but I feel like there should be an exception. Well, okay, Vietnam. When you've got giant mechanical forces coming in and individuals basically can stop them. Same with the Revolutionary War, from what we're told, right? Forces came in mechanically and we stopped them with individual actions, coordinated.
Yeah, what's the one movie where like Will Smith was like saved us all, like that we're at?
Well, Independence Day. That one.
Yeah, that one.
Independence Day.
All right, so thanks everybody who's participating in the thing. Oh, did I screen capture when I was looking at that over there? I guess I should screen capture it next time. I'll do a thing over there. So if anybody keeps bidding, we'll jump back to a screen capture over there. Otherwise, let me go back to the notes. So we started out with the whole idea of taking a second to, let your dog out and stare into the existence of the multiverse, just beyond the particle horizon. I like to look at the black part of space, in other words, the part that light doesn't ever have a chance to reach because our existence will end before it gets that far. And on the other side of that horizon is where the other universes start. And, that's sort of like looking from the inside of a bubble backwards at yourself. So I like to start the show out that way. Do you guys have rituals that you use to, keep 2A in your head or to be motivated when there's a bunch of mopes going, 2A is not that big a deal. We can comply. It's kind of fun.
3 deep breaths.
Why 3?
Because 3 is my magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number.
Fibonacci sequence, then?
De La Soul.
It's kind of along the same line. Like there's certain rituals that I just do in life. Like I make my bed every morning, just because it keeps.
I've been doing that for a while now too. Why do you do it?
I do it because it starts my day off right, and then that was successful, and then I move on to other things that I'm going to be successful on. It's something I can control. I can handle it. And no matter how shitty people are, it doesn't matter. And then the future me has a nice made bed to come back to.
Yeah, that's the neat part of it too. So I agree with all of that. I've heard that it gives you something that you like you just said, like it's something that you can do for yourself. It's like you're giving yourself a made bed so that later on when you come back to it, you're like, oh yeah, I give a shit about myself or whatever. doing it as a ritual or a habit too is intentional. You can always, who cares about a made bed? So by not doing it, you're giving in to just it's one little thing that you didn't give into right when you woke up. There's a lot of military POV or positions on that aspect of it. So yeah, as soon as I heard more than almost everybody, it's not quite universal, but it's very consistent with people that offer advice on different things to start the day off with a I don't know, for lack of a better word, ritual or tradition like that. And what I found out is when I wake up and make the bed, for me at least, it involves a whole bunch of rolling up blankets and stuff. So the little puppy sits there and she happens to enjoy the shit out of having a bunch of blankets rolled up on top of her. She thinks it's some sort of little blanket ceremony every morning.
So it's a double win.
Oh yeah, she thinks it's the bee's knees. She looks at me funny when I don't do it. She's like, "What the hell happened to our little blankets?"
She's like, "Hey, come back. What are you doing?"
But then it's also, one time every once in a while, I'll be doing the thing and she'll be like, "I ain't got time for this. I got to go potty." So, you know what I'm saying? It gives you, it's not like it's in stone. But anyways, anybody else got any things like that? Well, like I say, I've heard that one. A lot of people use that one. It's been real consistent with things I've looked into.
I have this thing where I have to make sure that I have my keys before I close doors, not inside my house, but like I'm leaving the house or getting out of the car or whatever. And it's not even good enough to touch them in my pocket. I have to take them out and look at them. But at least I don't have to do it 15 times in one hand and 15 times in the other. Doesn't slow me down much. That means I can get back in.
I also do that, and I'm extremely paranoid about losing my keys. And the worst thing ever is that my car doesn't have put the key in. You just push a button. So
You just have to have it with you.
Yeah, but it needs to be with you, doesn't it?
it needs to be with me, but because I don't have a location on it all the time, so I kept getting out of the car and leaving them in there, and it's crazy.
Oh,
My kids bought me a thing that goes on my keys called Tile, and I can go to my phone and it'll make my keys beep.
Oh yeah.
They go on my wallet too. It's one of the things I got for Christmas. It's kind of cool.
thoughtful
I
kids.
don't really ever lose any. I don't really lose my keys because I carry them everywhere and I put them exactly in the same spot every day. Like if I go to bed, I unload my keys and everything, my guns and all that, all the same way every time.
That's your ritual.
Well, any that are associated with 2A, like any ways to make sure you're not missing something or people that you check in on or methods to, because the thing is, it's not like you're not going to forget Christmas because there's a whole group of people in the world that make sure that we never forget Christmas or anything like that. So we don't really have that for 2A. It's more like when people get around to it, they mention 2A, or when it suits their purposes, they mention 2A, or when it's obvious, they mention 2A. But to be aware of the stuff that we're either missing or we might be, all the little stuff, is there some ways to accomplish that? While you're thinking, it says, I would start my day off with making the bed. It shows you've accomplished something, even if the rest of the day is a shit show.
I like to check, California Rifle Pistol, FPC, see if there's anything any alerts out, anything to pay attention to, because usually those guys will post something.
Sort of like if there was a bulletin board at a gun shop, let's say, and you were off to do whatever daily routine, and you can just add stopping by the gun shop and check on the bulletin board to the daily routine. Make sure that no fires are going on right now.
Yeah, kind of.
Wheel is saying his house is keyless and car is push button. Yeah, I don't know. People live in the future. I don't trust all those buttons. You make it like that, robots are just going to take over because then they don't even hardly need fingers anymore. They can just do everything with mittens. And then Kojo is saying about the Proud Boys. I barely know what that is. What's the significance of their boss being arrested in DC today? Is there a significance to that? Is it a gun thing, or is it just a political thing, or is it a?
I think it's under that category. Everybody else is going to talk about it, so we can probably skip it because that's not what the Daily Gun Show is.
But it's not like it was because I heard something about there was supposed to be a rally on the 6th. And then I heard something about, are you going to the rally on the 6th? Right? Like that was going around. Not me, but I mean, like people were asking each other, are you going to the rally on the 6th? And then I heard somebody say, the gun rally on the 6th. And then before I knew it, before anybody confirmed it was a gun rally on the 6th, it's like, it's the gun rally on the 6th has been canceled by the mayor of whatever. So, not that all happened overnight or nothing, but you know that's the way the progression I remember it coming and going, or coming and coming up too. I guess hasn't gone. But anybody know about that thing or the details on that? Or I guess does this have anything to do with that, or was that a Proud Boy? I don't know what the Proud Boys are. I just know that they're not like they're the anti-Antifa or something.
Well, not addressing the Proud Boys, but instead the mayor had signs posted, more like flyers taped to signs and poles and stuff, saying that there were no firearms allowed within 1,500 feet of the sign, and apparently they just blasted the Capitol with them. So it now becomes an arrestable offense.
Oh, so it's not so much like a challenge as much as like I'm going to slip some signs in the middle of the night and everybody's like reacting to the new signage type of like out of like the temporary signage or something.
Yeah, as best I know. Yeah, and I had not myself heard anything about a gun rally for the 6th previously, and I think this was just a last minute measure to prevent. God knows what they think they're preventing by that.
Well, you can't have guns in DC, period. Like it's always been, well, I mean, as long as we've been around, it's been gun-free zone. So Kojo is saying that the dude was arrested for having 2 high-cap magazines, which means just regular magazines in a rifle. So, yeah, that you can't have a rifle in DC. You can't have the magazines alone. Remember, except for unless you're on the national news waving them around, bitching about them, you're not allowed to have even be in possession of them. So I guess if he got in possession of them, well, if he just got in possession of the 2 magazines, he might not even have had a firearm. So in that case, that's a lot different than he was minding his business, you know, reading the scriptures one Sunday, and the ATF knocked on his door and took him off without any kind of notice or something. You know, that's if he went out to get arrested or waved him around in defiance, then that's, you know, that might be, you know, a plan or something. Yeah. So I don't know about that one, but like Wood says, I'm sure for some reason something about that story makes me think that somebody's going to be talking about that one during those daytime chats you hear about. I'm going to go over to Instagram since we have a moment to chill, and I'll go look over here. We'll refresh. Bam.
Oh, what are we showing?
We got the auction going on for these 13 patches. So a lot of the chats will not do a live auction and do something thrilling like this, but this chat does. So I guess it's just decides, I'll put it in whatever order I feel like, because it goes 50, 42, 44, 72, 64, 60, 66, 36, 60, 154, 1 cent. So thank you, stupid Instagram, for making it difficult. Pretty sure 72.42 though. That's a pretty decent number. And like I say, that has already reached one threshold, which means there'll be other things happening along with this. But thank you very much for bidding on it. The way it's running is it'll just keep bidding until there's no more bids. So if somebody's like, oh, I'm about to bid about how to work Instagram, you better say it over here. Otherwise, just go use Instagram and your strategy would be to outbid the $72 bid that's over there right now. Anyway, so that's a little thrilling action we're having. We're about an hour into the show, and someone asked earlier how long it's going, and I think Pink was asking about it. It might be out of Pink's what's that called? Dang it, what's that called now? I'll just say range, but we'll see. I know he's saving up for some fancy Russian guns. Any other topics for tonight? I think we were going to say, besides the auction over there, we have the Play Society podcast that happened today. We have the Fireside Chats with Crump that had the same dude that Clover had on, Shooting Gallery New England. We had Biker Bob, who is this dude, did a show last night. And then Budget, Cork and Gear did a video about how Ohio now has Stand Your Ground. So in Ohio, they don't have to run away.
How many states have that?
That is something I didn't put in the 50 states book, but now I wish I would have, because that's another good one. Dang, I don't know.
So the governor of Ohio's face fits really well on a lot of chicks' bodies, like in music videos.
You can use the same thing that I use, the same technology that we use to implant Bob's head onto things like this. Oh, I don't know if this is. Be careful, Angela. I'm about to.
Whoa.
It might be that technology that you're able to throw that guy's head onto females. I could put Bob's head on girls. I don't think it's appropriate. I just put his head on babies and John Travolta, mostly.
Was that John Travolta that was gyrating?
Yep. Who knows that movie? It's like name that tune, except it's name what movie Bob's in.
DJ, you're up.
Yeah, it was the.
Who's the chick in Bob's? Who was the co-star? What's that called? The
It was
girl.
Staying Alive, I think, was the name of that movie.
No. Way later. Come on. Do you even watch John Travolta movies in the 1980s? We'll see if anybody else.
I thought there was a Saturday Night Fever follow-up where he's like stuck in a yoga, not a yoga studio, but a aerobics studio or something.
Was it a sequel?
Staying Alive? I thought it was.
Wait, are you saying that the first one was called what was the first one called?
Saturday Night Fever, and I thought that was Staying Alive, a follow-up to that story where he's doing aerobic stuff or something.
Well, it could be. I mean, we're talking about the same movie, obviously. I just thought it was called something. I'm thinking maybe it's of a different movie now that I'm thinking about it. We got to go to IMDb. What would that have been? 80s? This guy did a movie in the 80s. Let's see. Urban Cowboy, Staying Alive, and
Staying Alive, that was it, wasn't it? Because that was after Urban Cowboy. Urban Cowboy was an 80.
Now, see, this one he's dancing on Broadway or whatever. I was thinking it was with Olivia Newton-John, and it was
That was great.
Perfect. No, I know, but he did other movies with her, I thought.
Oh,
Anyway, no, it probably is just Staying Alive. Then. Let's go see if there's pictures of the movie Staying Alive somewhere. So that Angelina will have a little bit easier. We can help mansplain it more accurately for her when she needs to go pick up the movie later on this evening. So what would you call this? What do you call this? Aerobics?
Wait, so was it Staying Alive?
Look at all these pictures from Staying Alive. He's definitely almost naked in this movie. Ugh. And then I just don't see him doing aerobics. Is this him?
That's the outfit, man.
I'm not.
Look at
It's not
that.
like I've seen this movie. I'm just trying to remember.
either.
I thought there was this whole separate movie with him and what's her name that they just did a separate. There was something with a 10 in it though. Star 10 or something. Probably Staying Alive, but I just don't see that exact. I mean, there's this, so that's pretty damn close to being this. All right. Well, even though we might not have completely mansplained it for you, we're going to let you go with Staying Alive from 1983. Bunch of sweaty dudes aerobicizing in it.
Oh, cool. On the
Bob
list.
made a lot of money on it. It was worth it for it. For him. Okay, so I don't know where we were with that. That was that Pink? No, I guess we don't even have any more comments. People have just left and just gone away. The last comment was 6 minutes ago.
Probably
All right.
because I saw that video.
Yeah, they're just disgusted by this already. This has become a mess. So this is how you repel people from 2A. All these people, that's how Bloomberg gets all his money. He just keeps paying me to repel people from 2A by doing this kind of weird shit. All right, so I guess it's over. We can talk about any other topics. Keep trying to bring these other topics up. Maybe that's what it was. I was talking about Bob doing the video or something, and then the Stand Your Ground was the last one. Yesterday's pomades out there, not today's, as Matt would say.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't see any of those shows you're talking about.
Yeah, I was going to add Clover in here if I was going to bring people in that ain't 2A. Let's see. So I guess that's it. So we had Played Society podcast. I know a couple people seen that one. That's what it looked like for a while.
Live on YouTube. To keep 2A in your head.
Boom. Let's see. I'm waiting for this to show up over here. Boom. Angelina likes the vids I post with DeWine using reflex.
Yeah.
Oh, is
They're
Pink the one doing it? Oh, Pink's
Yeah.
doing it. Oh, okay. Let's.
I saw, I can't say it live, but when we're not live, I'll tell you something.
Why am I not getting Pink's stuff then? I didn't see none of that's the last thing I've seen of Pink. Is this?
It's a platform that you're not a fan of.
Huh? Oh, it's on the Discord?
No.
No.
Maybe one of our mutual 2A habits should be checking in on our subscriptions every day to see if we're still getting stuff, because people seem to be dropping out of people's feeds and missing comments and all kinds of crazy shit.
No, it says I'm following him. Is this the last thing he posted was this? So where is he posted at? We can't get it.
Yeah, she
I think
said
it's a secret.
Oh. Yeah, I really can't go over there. I don't like logging in because you know how it is. They attach every, and half the time they challenge me and shit. So it makes, because they're weird. So I don't go over there. So I can't show you that. But is there something that it feeds to, like Twitter does Periscope or whatever?
I don't know, but that's one thing I have to look into because I want to try to do more social media, and that would be the way.
Will this thing show if how do I do this? If I go to StreamYard, inside the StreamYard, are you seeing this happen? Is this happening? Is this really happening?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I click this, can you see what's happening right here? Look at that. Bam, 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 bam. Look how many platforms. Like, I don't want you to get scared or nothing, but it's this many platforms I can link to now because I'm paying for a bunch of Canadians for this kind of technology.
Is Bob going to get stimulus because of that?
I think he gets free marijuana. I don't know how Canada works. I think they don't using a choice either. Like he's like, "Can I eat?" And they're like, "Marijuana."
No.
Like, if you can make food out of this, here you go. That's what you're eating.
Well, they have like legal shrooms now, so
In Canada?
yeah. Well, for medicinal, like for terminal patients, you can use shrooms.
No wonder we haven't talked to Dr. Bob in a while then. You ever stack rocks like this? I seen this as the new thing to do, stacking rocks. You know what stacking rocks like this used to mean? Stuff,
Like
because this is a trail sign back in the day. Like, and people just do it now, like fucking with people. You know how many people are getting lost because it's like popular on Instagram to stack rocks?
I saw that on beaches up and down the West Coast last time I was out on Pacific Coast Highway.
I consider it a challenge to knock over with a slingshot from a distance. If somebody's going to set up something like this.
It's got to be pretty zen. You know, you got to search out the rocks, got to get them all balanced out. The higher you get, the more likely gravity is going to overcome your efforts and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a trick. Any rock is a balance. It's just gravity. Nobody's knocking over rocks, so it's just a trick. You can sit there and make any rocks balance if you just sit there long enough. I don't know. We're not going to scroll through Instagram. I got a weird Instagram feed. Look at all this orange. We should probably plug California EDC. You ever heard of this place?
Key tag right there. That's Alan Anchor, I think. Who are they?
What is?
That key tag.
He's got a bunch of your stuff.
Oh, but did you die?
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is probably the only picture I've seen from this human, because I don't know if it's a dude or not, that doesn't have way more Alan Anchor branded items. Are you having a fight?
Not that I know of. Maybe.
And it's not even the orange. Did you make this one in orange?
No, but see that flashlight right there? I really want that flashlight. I missed out on it when it was for sale, and I'd like every day I'm pained.
What is this thing? Banaka?
Oh no. Maybe it's cocaine.
I think EDC is your friend should send you that flashlight and buy another one.
Well, you can't buy them anymore. Like, it was a one-time release thing. So
but he needs to send it to you, and he buys a different one.
I don't know. Asking someone to give up their orange flashlight is a lot. Like, that's a shit ton.
It'd be super 2A of him.
It would be.
The Virginia Citizens Defense League has a kind of an interesting take on a lobby day this year, coming up on the 18th, which will be on 2 Mondays from now. So not next Monday, but the Monday after. They're going to do hashtag rolling for the 2A. Rolling for the 2A. I got hiccups. So they're going to be basically like a parade, like a 2A parade. They're going to arrange, or what's the word, like coordinate a whole bunch of different vehicles. They're going to stage in different places, and then they're going to drive past the place where they would have normally had their normal rally day, or their 2A, what do they call it? I think they just call it their Capitol Rally Day or something. They had one pretty famously last year during SHOT Show. They had gotten all the new, they were all sitting around watching the new laws get passed. So then, instead of voting on them, so then afterwards they had a big rally, and they're doing it again this year, except since they can't all hang out like they did last year, the other side doesn't want those photo ops. They're going to make them do everything in vehicles and get photo ops of tons of vehicles coming by. So they've got different things you can put on vehicles, different things you can do to have some consistency in the whole event. And yeah, it's neat. And they've been doing this live last couple of months, once a month or more. They get together on using the technology that we're using here, the online hangout type of rooms, and have coordination and planning meetings and disseminate info and ask feedback and get kind of honed in on what is clear and what isn't clear. And yeah, just really cool. I think they're doing a great job. I think there's no ego at all. I mean, I can't find any. It's just a bunch of people that have a same consistent goal, and they're just using the tech to get it done. I am nowhere near Virginia, but I'd definitely be there if I could. But just been a pleasure watching it unfold. And honestly, the Virginia Citizens Defense League isn't the first one, but they are. They've been inspirational. They've been in a leadership role as pathfinders, often in 2A fights over the decades, really. So anyway, it's neat to see them continuing to do that. Unfortunately, it's because they're getting wailed on, with their laws over there. But you beat on a bunch of people that are being lazy, you wake them up, they quit being lazy, and then doom on the stupid representatives that abuse their bullshit positions over there. Okay, so Kojo is saying, is that guy from before? No. Michael Grab made Stacking Rocks trendy. Is that I don't know who that is. Who's Michael Grab?
I don't know.
Me neither. No idea. There's too many people to keep track of nowadays.
Oh, why can't we just have like maybe 14 people that rotate? Oh, look at this guy. I've seen this kind of stuff. This is the kind that bothers me. Not this one. I don't watch a movie. Where they make a little archway though. Like, what are you trying to prove? Yeah, you can stack rocks. Big deal. Does that make you feel good when you walk through the forest and you see this, or is it annoying when you walk through the forest and see that?
Don't you have to do that with slingshots? You have to, right?
So we'll go around the room. Angelina, makes you feel happy and wonderful when you see that, or not?
Yeah, I like it.
Wood, happy and wonderful, or not?
I'm going to shoot at it with slingshots.
DJ, happy and wonderful, or not?
He fell asleep.
Happy. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I'm like, hey, you don't own the world. It would be the same as chopping down a tree. Like, what if I just wanted to come out here and chill for a minute and not realize that there's a bunch of other people that fucking manhandle every fucking rock in this creek? You know what I mean? I mean, I understand the concept, but it's also very selfish to go, everybody gives a shit about my little art project in the middle of nowhere where it would be illegal for me to spray paint on a tree or put a statue out here. I get it, but it's not woke. It's the opposite. It's somebody who puts an orange tent and a ghetto blaster out there and says, hey, I'm camping, fuck you. You can camp, and you can camp subtly and shut the fuck up so that other people on the lake can also experience a camp. You know what I mean? That's bad. I'm not the typical, I guess. I'd see this and I'd definitely knock it over so that some little kid could experience the creek and not some person's art project. What if it's a freaking weird thing too? What if that means something weird and everybody's looking at it and it's some like weird, haha, you looked at how many times I masturbated on that other rock.
That escalated quickly.
Well, I'm just saying, people are weird out there. I hear you. I mean, and it's neat to do this stuff, but then let your kid knock it over when you walk away. Don't just assume that everybody in the world gives a shit about your little rock situation. I guess it's cool on Instagram, but like you say, that's why I don't have any problem if somebody wants to go knock that over. And if this guy has a fit about people knocking it over, I'm definitely knocking his shit over. But I guess that probably somebody who's doing this who doesn't give that much of a shit, he does it wherever, probably doesn't care. Because I would think you wouldn't you want a little kid to enjoy knocking that over? Because it's so cool to knock over.
Yeah, I had a little kid with me. I'm like, take rocks, throw these rocks at those rocks and knock it down. The kid would be like, cool. Yeah, for sure.
That might be controversial. We're not trying to. If you're a what do you call it? A rock stacker. I need to, instead of just doing something like that, I'll go over here and flip over. Let's get to the right channel. Yeah.
What if they build a 2A?
Oh, I don't know.
Then it's a quandary for me.
What are all these comments? Oh, here's my really nice, weird Russian bot one. Oh, and then look, there's actual comments. Let's read some comments live. That might make them happy. Bam. Really nice little thing. Okay sign. Love, eyes, kiss. 3 different types of hearts.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
so how about report?
Is that a hooker?
I believe that's a Russian bride. So
Hmm.
if you needed a bride or whatever. I don't know. Are you allowed to be a lesbian and get a Russian bride, or is it just for us dudes?
I'm not sure, but in like 2021, everything's equal, right? Like, I could be a lesbian and get a bride.
I feel like you're not woke if if you're a Russian bride and you won't come over for a lesbian, then you're not even a woke Russian bride, right? You're some kind of backward Russian bride from the olden days. Let's see, what were you talking about, or what you were talking about isn't virtual reality, but augmented reality, where something pops up to show you a list of the price or the price of what you're looking at, or gives you info to offset the operating costs. They will open up advertisers and coupons. The competition will pop up on your glasses, or here's a coupon for a free can, and so on. When you're looking at their drinks, I think so. And then uh, hopefully from that it'll evolve from the concessions and sales and stuff into something more. They will open up hold on, what's going on over here? Marco's, I didn't even know I was clicked on this one. How'd that happen? So that's why Marco stacked rocks on a road sign when he took his getaway vacation last month, because of that one dude, because of the Instagram thing. He's a rock stacker sellout. I knew he was stack selling out, however that works. And then Justin is also knocking it over. So now that we've stated our position on the stacked rocks, anybody changing their position? Anybody changing their position to leaving the rock stacked after listening to the position of the hippies that like being forced public art?
I feel more reinforced on whacking them more.
Hopefully, in addition to 2A, we've encouraged people to not go for vandalism. Or I mean, public art displays. I don't know. If they were to concrete it, would you still appreciate it? Like if like the winter cold chill cycle or whatever wasn't going to just naturally knock it over, or like some bird laying on it wouldn't knock it over. If they concreted it that way, would you still be like, oh, look, somebody made art in the middle of the world or in the middle of the woods or whatever?
So they made a concrete one?
Like maybe a shrine or a what do they call that? Like a little contemplation.
Grotto?
Yeah, people will make little art projects in the middle of nowhere sometimes to signify something, or just a nice place to set. But that's the thing. Sometimes it's kind of neat, especially if it's super old. Like you'll go up on the top of some hill or something, and it's like, oh, well, in the 1920s, so-and-so lugged a whole bunch of rocks up here and made this little chair you can sit in and look at the sun come up. It's like kind of hard to bitch at something like that. Or even worse, when it's like, we think the native peoples like dragged these rocks from way the hell over there and put them over here because of the carbon dating shows us that the moss or whatever. Like, I guess you're not allowed to complain about that. But, because it's kind of been there forever, because throughout time, no one's even moved them because it's so awesome to sit in those rocks or something. But when it's like, somebody takes some spare concrete and concretes a Colt 45 bottle, and crook of a tree or something, sticks a piece of rebar through it, lights it on fire, well, that's art. Tried to think of something that wouldn't be art, but now I think that'd be kind of cool if you came up to a bunch of bottles concreted to a tree with rebar on fire.
I've seen some of those things in the woods where somebody built like a little like shrine to something or other. And then there was one we found one time that had a tea box in the middle of the woods over a river. And then as you read the little plaque, and there was a bunch of like rocks and stuff stacked around it, it was where they put some guy's ashes. So clearly I'm leaving that alone.
Yeah. I've got a kind of a weird one
now
for
you
y'all.
leave graves alone. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm not afraid of no ghosts, but I'm not messing with them.
I'm pretty sure you're an a-hole if you're messing with graves.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people glue the rocks. That's the people that shoot 9mm. They carry hot glue guns with them, battery powered hot glue guns with them. But they use dry cell batteries because they're those kind of people. It didn't work so much. I would have ripped out the obelisk when it was here. I don't remember the obelisk. I missed that one, but I remember something happened with that.
One just showed up in the middle of the desert somewhere. It was like 10 feet tall and buried in the ground. It was made out of metal. And then there was other ones that popped up, like Romania or something.
It's super easy. All you got to do is get an airplane and drop them. It's super easy. Right?
And then when they go on,
Bury into the ground real hard. So Pink is saying not go knock them over because they could have been stacked there 1,000 years ago by an Indian shaman and you'd have bad luck forever. That's a good point. Or you knock it over and you turn into a girl or switch places with somebody. That happens quite a bit, right? Switch places with an older or younger version of somebody, like a parent or a child or something. Can it happen with friends? I think it can happen with friends also, especially if you're like the opposite type of friends, like one person's shy and one person's not. Super glue, way easier. There's things you can do like cheating with sand, salt and sand and stuff. So there's all kinds of little cheat ways to do things that look cool. Anybody know about put some salt on a table and you can balance a salt shaker real easy?
Yeah. And salt in an ice cube with a string. You freeze the string to it and lift it out of a glass.
Oh, I've never done that one. But you can do I've seen the salt, the balance salt shaker before. You can freak out little kids who've never seen that happen before. So I'm guessing that can happen with rocks too. All right, well, I think we've solved rock stacking. We've solved sedimentary rocks and igneous rocks. We'll do metamorphic rocks in a future show because we don't want to solve everything right here. Should we take on erosion, mass wasting, anything else? We've talked a bit about meteorites adding to the mass of the Earth. Anyone concerned that if we have enough meteorites hit the Earth, that it's going to change our mass significantly and alter our orbit around the sun, and therefore adjust the orbits of all these other planets, and just become like a bunch of ping pong, or not ping pong balls, but pool balls knocking into each other?
no, not really.
I feel like it's inevitable. We're just running around collecting meteorites, waiting for it to happen. Just at one point, it'll be like the straw that breaks the camel's back. It'll be the meteorite that creates utter chaos in our solar system. But that's cool. Nobody's concerned about it. We can talk about something else.
I'm more worried about the 500,000 pieces of space junk that NASA has to track all the time, and twice a year they have to move the space station because of exploded satellites. Like, that's going to be.
I've heard about that, but they take the space junk and they just wing it way higher. And they made it sound like whenever I was watching the stuff, because I've been watching a bunch of the launches last year of the private stuff, it's just super neat and they're jazzed about it. It was something positive to listen to instead of all the crap. Yeah. So anyway, it's interesting because they were talking about stuff like that, and it's mostly sitting around waiting for the thing to launch, which was often like an hour away or something. So they had all the time in the world to talk about stuff, and it was nothing but nerds asking nerd questions after nerd questions and loving it.
Yeah,
right. So it was great, and so they're talking about all this stuff. So basically, what they were saying was, anytime something is not used anymore, they just throw it higher. So we have like a giant layer of stuff that we don't use when it's way up there where we don't put anything into that type of atmosphere or orbit, I guess. And it doesn't move. It takes like tens of thousands of years to come back down. So I guess that's what we're doing. So we do have a bunch of stuff, but I think it's not such a big, they didn't seem like it was such a big deal. And I guess we've got stuff that collects it or grabs it and moves it or something. Or at least I got that impression. Or when it comes around, we're able to grab it and just throw it up, basically. It'll be a problem in the future, maybe, when we're moving. I don't know. They didn't really get into that.
Well, the guy that was on Rogan, that's the astronaut that was in the space, the American that's been there the longest of any of the astronauts, that's what he was talking about, is how much junk is out there. Like, they even had an idea that they could use a shuttle and make a big, like, gelatinous cube to, like, just ram it into that shit. and collect a bunch of it. They're not really sure how they're going to pick it all up.
Well, that's the thing. I bet you can do something with like some kind of a gel or some sort of a, what's the word? Like a,
Right.
with a geodesic type of structure, some sort of a, like a net basically. Yeah. And get out there, collect a bunch of it. Once a bunch of it collects, it creates enough gravity to collect the rest of it. My concern is you just start taking space debris and letting it collect in space where there's all the radioactivity is space. You're going to take a bunch of gadgets and robot parts and let them melt together in radioactive space. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's make a robot on Earth where it's only got legs and it can barely walk. All right, that makes sense. Create a robot randomly with space radiation? Come on. Come on, man. That's the kind of nonsense, irresponsible shit Biden will do with Space Force. He'll probably start Space Force with custodians and then, yeah, sweep up a bunch of robot parts. It's going to be chaos. And then that robot only has to like poop on us. Like, right? If it doesn't like a city, it just robot poops on us and then builds up speed or whatever. I don't know. Go ahead and solve the solve COVID-22. The next one. Have you seen the posts that are like, oh crap, I already screwed up 2021. I'm going to do better in 2022. I thought that was pretty good. I saw that one like yesterday already. You solve it by having intent and just acting, because our actions today are tomorrow's reality. I saw a post something about that the government ain't going to flip a switch and say, okay, everybody can do whatever. Everybody's going to just start doing whatever. And then the government will be like, yeah, we said that was cool. So how does everybody start doing whatever? Individuals start doing whatever, and people that are in the middle and will do whatever they feel like when they see somebody else do it first will do that. And then all those people that are whining and complaining won't have the momentum and the power, and then it'll be over. So I encourage people to act individually and do what you want. And if your decision is to comply, then you shouldn't complain that I offered you to encourage you to comply, right? 2A with a side of geology. That was the extent of my geology. I only know like 3 times more of that, maybe. I don't really pay that much attention in geology. We live in geology. We're wading in geology. Same with like prehistoric native history here. So I just absorb it. I don't even have to learn it. It just happens. Same with fossils. Fossils, I tried hard not to learn about fossils, and I just know more about fossils than regular people because there's so many fossils out here. Same thing with meteorites. I don't even want to know about meteorites. I just happen to know a lot about meteorites. I don't believe NASA, their official stance right now on travel and moon is we have lost the tech to go through the Van Allen belt. Here's the bullshit. Anytime someone tells you that we've lost the tech to do anything with a van, they're bullshit, because the vans are awesome and van technology is better now than it's ever been. Even though it was awesome in the past, it's just better now. Although, shit. Let's see if we can do this live. We're going to try to do something live here. It's unprecedented. We are we're an hour and a half into the show. Can I do it? Let's see if I can. Oh, you guys can say stuff while I try something unprecedented. Something's never been done.
Has anybody else seen The Wandering Earth?
I have not.
I've seen this Earth.
Oh,
It's pretty damn good. It's a Chinese language film from like 2019, and it's set in like the 2060s, and the sun is about to go red giant. And so there's a global initiative to put thrusters on the Earth to power it out. And
I've heard of it. Is it anime or real?
No, it's an action movie. Yeah, live actors. And
so
there's
a CGI like giant jets on the side of the Earth, basically.
Yeah. And there's this problem where we're gonna crash into Jupiter. And yeah, it's kind of long, but it's good. And if you can hang with, I saw it subtitled. I'm pretty sure it's got to be dubbed somewhere. But yeah.
So it's from China and Jackie Chan's not in it?
No, he's not.
Oh, no.
That might have made it interesting, or more interesting. But yeah, the premise was pretty cool. I'm sure that it's been in, some comic or some science fiction book, but
Wouldn't we instantly freeze?
So many things are they fail to address so many things, Woods.
Okay, suspend reality. I got it.
Yeah, willing suspension of disbelief.
I'm with you now.
Yeah. As long as they don't cross the proscenial arch, we'll be just fine.
But I still stand by it. Would have been a better movie. Jackie Chan was in it.
Anybody hear this?
Oh wow.
Hear that weird noise?
Yeah.
Sound great.
Yeah, so I got some weird noise now. I'm dealing with that.
Is that a belt noise?
I'm thinking
Didn't sound like a starter.
Sounds more expensive than that. It's either starter, water pump, or something. It sounds like something that's running.
Tonight's episode, The Ripoff.
In from now on. Can I just drag over to here? Do you think I can just drag over here?
For sure.
And why not?
I don't know. You and I exponentially computery stuff in
it. Crump is saying something over there. Headline for tomorrow: 154 members introduce the Bipartisan Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act of 2021. So what do you think that's all about? Is that what it sounds like, or is that not what it sounds like?
I'm going to go with John Crump. Outranks me into anus, so I'm going to believe him. Sounds like a good thing.
Well, no, I'm saying, does that sound like what we're talking about? I can't get it here. Does that sound like the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act that we had already? And that he's talking they're going to bring it back in 21? Is that what we're hearing? That would be pretty cool. Thanks for the drop over here.
Tonight's episode, That Was No Lady.
I like that, what he just said. It's bipartisan and has both teams, red and blue, both brands.
As Dems and Republicans. I wonder what the angle is there. That's interesting.
Are they introducing it tomorrow?
He's dropping his headline tomorrow, but I don't know if that means.
I know they're all kind of craziness on the 6th, but tomorrow just be the 5th. So is this a good, are they in session? I don't really know.
Oh, they're in special session right now because of the whole situations that are happening.
That's a great idea. It's like a little bit like the ATF put it right before Christmas, like right before this big thing, you throw it in there.
Tonight's episode, The Endangered Species.
We don't get enough of that in the world anymore, in my opinion.
I feel like
in that show.
you need a theme song to play every couple hours like that. Just maybe that should be one of my new things.
That'll get me copyrighted every single time I play the long millimeter. I get copyrighted, so I can't keep playing it. I can play this.
There's that video again.
Shit. Ninja! Ninja! Ninja!
You don't get that on other chats. A little refreshing break like that with some ninja action, Bob wailing on robots. I don't know what the hell happened, but you don't have to keep track.
Bob Norris is the greatest thing ever. You just did it
When
for
here's what it feels like when you watch one of the lesser daytime chats that's all hides behind scripts and produced content.
Tonight's episode, The Ripoff.
What the hell is MMN? Oh, I gotta do it again. So I'm gonna try to figure out what year this is.
Tonight's episode, The Ripoff.
LXXL. Is that 72?
I couldn't make it out clearly, but
It's MCM, which is 19.7. It's 19. And then LLXL is probably 50-50 with a, or no, I can't. They're stupid numerals.
if it's
But
still it's minus, then one to the right.
It's 1972.
1972. That makes sense because I think I'm only on episode or on season 2 or something. I can't wait. I used to think Rockford Files was my favorite show ever, and I still think that. But this is a show that's similar to Rockford Files. All right, so yeah, thanks a bunch. So Crump was dropping a bunch of neat stuff in our chat. He had showed me some stuff off air, and definitely happy that we've got people on our side that are out there putting word out or putting stuff out there because his efforts have attracted more resources for him, and he is getting information that is unprecedented access. I guess I don't know what to say that. So he's about to ask a real good one. What do you think about the idea of drop-in documents for people to read through them to learn how to find the information? So I'm going to quit screen sharing because that's a legit thing. So we've been screwing around or whatever, but you know, when you're ultra elite, it means you also have to play as hard as you fight, right? So we're going to take a second and get back on track. So today he had posted on Instagram and probably on the other platforms, basically just the link, just the info. He has I forget what the service is, but he has the document basically online, and then he has a link to it, a viewer for it on his website, and then he's been linking to that document. And it's I don't know what to call it. I want to say Freedom of Information Act type of thing, where there's some information, some details on it are rescinded or whatever that's called, where they put a black line over it and they reference some kind of redacted things. They put some kind of footnote, like what it is, so that somebody knows what the words were that were removed. But it's very few words, and it's more like names and things. But so it's definitely not like a bunch of black dots. It's mostly text and just a few black dots. But anyway, you can read, what was it, 50 something pages or 30 pages? Am I crazy? It was a bunch of different pages of stuff today. And he posted it as like, here it is. And without a lot, I guess, as opposed to without any kind of narrative or without any kind of, commentary. And I thought that was pretty neat, especially once he explained in his live chat earlier or later on in the day, the point of that he wants to do what he's talking about right here. And I thought it was a great idea, just giving people the opportunity to absorb it and interpret it themselves, especially after reading all those comments to the ATF, right? I don't know if anybody was paying attention to those comments. I'm thinking I was going to do it today, but I went outside and looked at the particle on the other side of the particle horizon and decided to talk about habits that keep you focused on, motivated on big picture stuff as well as little picture stuff. But in the future, I think I'm going to go start the show off with some reading some of those some of those responses or comments to the ATF, because they were freaking incredible and definitely charged my 2A batteries. But anyway, I'd like those comments gave me the like the confidence that the people out there have more than enough intelligence and insight to interpret these documents for not just what's on the surface, but what they have in mind, like what their intent was in even writing these things, and they can help rip them to shreds. And as insightful as somebody like Crump might be, right, with knowledge and awareness of the big picture or whatever, right, and then offering that commentary, I think it is better to just drop the thing, because he can always add his commentary in a minute. He can always add his commentary also, but dropping it like that for just everybody to understand and use, basically sharing that resource he's got. He's sharing that info with everybody just raw. I think it's great. So I'll shut up. Obviously, you know my impression of it. Anybody want to throw in on that?
I think it's a great idea because it's very respectful of the audience. It's assuming that we're intelligent humans that can process things, as opposed to I need it spoon fed to me. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly right. And the thing is, he's 100% correct. Like we can and we do. And then what I'm liking too is that we're not just going to hear echoes or regurgitations of somebody's first impressions of it, who may or may not have an intent or awareness or whatever, and just give us their, maybe even their best effort to interpret it, but be wrong. And then all we got is amplification of wrong. I really like the idea of a bunch of people having a chance to look at, especially with the caliber of people that are coming out of California, New Jersey, and other states, Connecticut, New York, where they're being oppressed and infringed on, and they know what it's like to live like that, and they're sick of it already, and they're sick of not getting a lot of help, so they're figuring out how to do it, or they're having to do it by themselves. Yeah, I love the idea of them coming on the scene and getting louder. Well, usually I'm not about saying the same thing, just louder, but glad for them to get louder so that they can bring their stuff to the scene.
But this is really saying a different thing, right? He's not interpreting it for us like everybody else does for everything. He's saying, here, read this. Let's talk about it later.
Well, he is. I guess I'm saying the people that read it, though, have the opportunity then to start yelling about it from their position or with their insight.
For sure.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the way going forward. So let's mansplain it for real, because anybody can pat somebody on the back and say you did a great job without really thinking about it. If nobody did anything but drop info, would that be better in the long run? Or would it force us to be a bunch of nerds? Would everyone look to the nerds like heroes and sages? Or would they beat up the nerds for talking funny and then ignore the raw data because they require the bottled or the watered down pablum version that they're used to being fed by that little feeder with a little ball in it, and they go up and they don't really suck on it. They just sort of gum it with their tongue a lot. And then the knowledge gets fed right to them and they just go around farting that back out again at people angrily, loud. It's late, whatever. So is it better, or is it better to, what I'm saying, is it better to throw it out there, just have a bunch of sheets of paper? Or is it better to help people get the ball rolling so that it's not just a bunch of different versions right off the bat, or it has no momentum right off the bat? Just putting the pieces of paper down requires people to run over, read it, and then do something about it. That's a lot of requiring.
But we just saw that people are very capable of that.
Oh, but that requires faith that people can do things more than once. But I hear you. I'm going to do a live class on doing freedom of FOIAs. I believe it's pronounced FOIAs. The Freedom of the Information Acts. I think that's one of Crump's things. He kind of mentioned it today. I'm sure he'll probably focus on it more, but I think he was saying something like having an army of FOIA. What would that, like activists or something, people that request info? I think that's a necessary element of a open government, right? If a government's going to have transparency, it kind of is implied or necessary to have someone looking at what is transparent, right? To be monitoring. And we either going to have either pay somebody like a monthly rate to monitor that, and then assume that they're not going to just turn into the NRA. So we'd have to pay somebody to monitor and then monitor the people that are monitoring so that they don't get complacent. Or we could just come up with some way to each pay attention. If I go back to the original shit I was going to mope about earlier, I was going to say sports fans, and I never got to it because I started rambling about the particle horizon or the event horizon. No, the particle horizon and what's on the other side. But I started thinking about sports fans, and I guess that's um, kind of what I guess I talked myself into a corner right there. If you guys want to talk about something, feel free to interrupt. I'm not sitting here trying to rant. I'm just ranting because you guys ain't saying nothing. But the sports things, it's not like sports teams are on it, they're on their own, right? It's not like football has like a bunch of people like going, oh, please like football. I mean, maybe there is, I really don't know. But I'm guessing it's the fact that you like a sports team that you're gonna wear their outfit and you're gonna go to their games and you're gonna, I don't know, whatever you do to support sports, right? But it's because you enjoy it and you're, and all that. And I was thinking about how that element is necessary for other things to exist as well. It's just that people we don't think about other things not getting the fanfare or the amount of attention or whatever. And I thought maybe there was something there, some legs there to chat about that. So I don't know if that's the same thing there as I was ranting on, but I'll shut up. You guys say something if you're going to say nothing. Otherwise, we'll end it. It's already just about to hit 2 hours for 2A here. And Crump says, oh, I'm going to bed. And then he's still in here chatting. So we're not helping him either by chatting about what he's talking about.
Are you talking about like fandom in general?
I guess just in general, like when someone's a fan of something, they're what's the word? Like inadvertently promoting the thing that they're a fan of, because they're a fan of that. So I was just thinking that very few people do that with intent. But if we started just being aware that we do it for other things, like I like pizza or I like coffee, holy crap. How do you know somebody likes coffee? Wait 5 minutes and they'll tell you, right? Like it's that kind of thing.
Right.
So, if some people are like, I know of people who are like that with 2A. Well, they won't shut up about 2A. I hate people like that. And if there was more people like that, then some of us wouldn't have to talk about 2A all the damn time. And have to lift more of it than all them people that ain't lifting nothing. Because if everybody was talking about, or if there was enough people blabbing about 2A like they are about coffee, then the rest of us could just drink chocolate coffee all the time and not have to make Instagram posts about it. I guess it's not like it's going to go away. I guess that was just one of my things I was thinking about bringing up as a topic, and I think Crump just sort of, my rant about Crump inadvertently got back to that. But anyway, yeah, I was just thinking about fandom in general, like whatever, being a fan of pizza, being a fan of whatever those shoes you like wearing shoes all the time. Maybe people like their cars or driving on a bus. I don't know what people like. Hacky sack.
I mean, they're cool. I like the Dodgers too and the Cubs, so like I would selectively wear things from them. There's that 2A jersey.
A lot of the 2A stuff, it seems, is like somebody's, right? I guess there's the Gun Saves Lives, which is technically Virginia Citizens Defense League's property, but they give it to anybody who isn't being a jerk about it to use. Guns save lives. And then I can't think of too many others, but usually things are somebody's kind of catchphrase or somebody's thing, right? Somebody's slogan or property, I guess, quote unquote. I don't know. Is there anything besides just the letter 2 and A that is universal, or what is that word? Like what's it called? Open domain, open source?
I don't know. None that I can like really think of off the top.
There probably is. We're just not thinking of it. Maybe like the oval with a 2A in it, like how Europe has to keep track of who country you live in or something with that sticker.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're about to hit the 2 hours for 2A. It'll just end abruptly because that's how a real chat rolls. They're not going to bother wasting a bunch of pandering with trying to get people to buy shit off of their Instagram auctions. Oh, wait, there is an Instagram auction. So we're going to go over there and see if anybody's been auctioning, bidding, whatever the word is on the Instagram over there. And the answer is we got a max bid of 7242. Does anyone see anyone bigger than that? Anybody on a phone or on some other device that might be more updated than my computer? Oh, we got to do it in 13 seconds. Is it going to happen in 13 seconds? Oh, I can't believe
Ding.
you DJ'd me. You DJ'd me by putting the thing in my on my Instagram. Oh, I got DJ'd.
Careful now. In some countries, that's a good thing and a sign that you will have.
Oh, I got a 7420. So is that the last one? You literally zapped them by. Oh no, I thought you got them by a couple of cents. So what's the significance of the 7420?
Are a DJ and a BJ the same thing?
Hell no. Not from this DJ.
Is there a DJ BJ?
BJ.
Yeah, those happen all the time under the booth.
No, I meant like a DJ named BJ that goes by the name BJ.
I'm sure.
There must be.
There's another DJ Play Nice in South Africa,
Oh, really?
but I was the first.
So at this point, there was a 7242 from erstwhile, I believe, and then DJ came in, wasted a bunch of money. 7420. Is that for all the patches? That is not for everyone. It is one of each. So 13, a set of 13. I'm not insane. I'm not throwing away all of those. There'll be 6 of them. I've already bundled them up. This one is going to Instagram. This is happening at the same time on Patreon. So Patreons are getting the same thing right now. And then I think I'm going to put one on Parlor, because Parlor's the thing. And then I'm going to put another one on Patreon, and I think that leaves 2, and one is undecided still, and like that. So this was just a way to have something fun. However, since we already blew the 2 hours for 2A thing, and Barbecue just shut up, we all know what a patch addict he is. So, and Pink sounds like he's just now starting to figure out what's going on. So we'll drop the link again, and then we'll do a Mail Call Monday, an unprecedented live daily gun show Mail Call Monday. However, again, since I'm doing stuff that's never been done before, I think I have to look over. What's that noise? Why do we keep hearing that noise? Are we being recorded? Is this the CIA recording this? What's going on?
No, you know what that is? It's my fucking email, dude. I'm sorry. And then I had to turn it off.
Oh, smokes. Alan Precision just bested me. And I'm sorry, I got to fold my number and put it in my pocket.
Look, it's a battle to the death. You knew going into it, you were going to probably either come out a murderer or dead financially. So, yeah, is that the way that some channels pit their viewers against each other? Yeah. It's very much like a ninja school. You can't make good ninjas by just having them slap fight each other all the time. I'm trying to find a video. So give me a second. I gotta click on this. And I can't have it in here because I don't have any of these folders. This is a new freaking year. Ugh, I got so much work to do. Not even fair. All right, I gotta go over here, and I gotta go over here, and over here, and over here. And I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to find this video now. It's gonna take an hour and a half. Barbecue, does this guy even 2A anymore? Remember when Barbecue was 2A?
No, I heard he was Bloomberg now.
Yeah, back in the back end of 2020, I think was the last year. I remember that guy being really into 2A. But we'll throw a link out there. Clover also didn't bet in this link earlier. Pink is working, so he can't jump on that link, I guess. I don't know if we said hey to Garrett out there. Who's out there? And now let's see. I've let this thing sit for a little while. Yep, I gotta still wait. It's still clicking. So we'll go back, I guess, and look at this on Instagram and then try refreshing it perhaps. 44 because it's special. Here's Guns N' Barbecue 3 hours ago, claiming he doesn't know what's happening, but he likes it. Then we got a 36. I think that's the one that started it all off. And then there's a bunch of, see, they don't put them in any kind of order. So I guess it went 36 and then 42 and then 44 because it's special, right? And then 60 and then 61. You $1 them. That's called a $1 in them. And then from 61, he went to 64. So he put an honest $3.80 on there. That's a 380. Did he just throw 380 on there? And then from 64, that's when DJ was like, screw this. I'm putting 10 millimeter on there. Boom, went to 74. Dude went to 75.99. Boom. So that's where I went from one. That's how you start with 1 penny and you get to 75.99. We'll see if anything else happens. Now Barbecue showed up. I guess he's trying to be 2A again this year. He's just gonna not really say anything. I'm looking for this. So 202, 104, and then how about, dang it, what did I name it then? Shit, maybe I did pull it over already. I'm gonna be pissed if I pulled it over already and wasted all that time. I don't think Barbecue's going to say anything. He just showed up. He's just posing 2A. Is that what it's called when you just show up and you stand around the backyard or in the background to get pictures taken? While everybody else is being 2A.
It's like 2A light.
2A posing.
It's or what is it? 2A NA? Like that non-alcoholic beer, but like it's non-amendment 2A. So you want to be 2A, but you're not 2A at all. You don't even have an A.
Okay, here it is. So we're going to do an unboxing with DJ's
call Monday.
box
Just
that he
going
sent
to
me.
use my 2 fingers to open this one. Just use 2 fingers to
Are
push
you
against the tape here.
screen sharing?
Push, feel the tape here with 2 fingers.
This is a sensory one. You just imagine like
The box
pushing the box
Just have to
open.
use the magic of 2 fingers.
Oh, I like that shirt you're wearing.
All right, we're doing another mail call Monday. Just going to use my 2 fingers to open this one. Just use 2 fingers to push against the tape.
It's like magic. It's creepy. I can't watch myself doing that. It's creepy as hell. All right. You thought this was the creepy. Now we start opening up whatever the hell DJ sent me here.
Right, it's like some kind of Darth Vader thing going on.
I'm going to take the audio off because it's going to get weird. Boom. So, Velcro, green Velcro, 4-inch wide green Velcro. What's the story with that? That is not typical Velcro situation.
All the way from Finland.
Finland? How'd that
Yep.
happen?
I ordered it.
Oh, shit. All right. So you just literally bought me some Velcro? I thought maybe there was some story like it came from somewhere or something happened or something.
Yeah, I saw it, and I thought it was a kind of a strange width.
Yeah, 4-inch Velcro. So basically, when you buy Velcro, it comes either in like, what is it, half-inch, 1-inch, something like that. Thin stuff for like, sort of like what you get on like a name tag on a uniform or something. 2-inch, which is like every patch ever, like one of the Wolverine patches is 2 inches wide. And then 4-inch would be, I don't know, for bags and stuff mostly. So not cheap either. So I appreciate it. And then both sides of it too. So that's how much you'd buy if you were buying like, hard for a project or something. That's why I figured maybe you had it left over from something or something like that. So anyway, yeah, I'll be able to use it for things going forward. So appreciate that. So as you can see, you sent me on what the hell you're thinking here. So that's why I'm doing this one live. So first I a Kindle. What the hell did I get a Kindle for? And then because I don't know how many hundreds of dollars those cost, but there's like gum in there. There's like a Space Force patch. Now, he's not the only person that sent me gum and stuff. I don't know what you're trying to say, but other people have sent me gum and shit. So I don't know if that's a normal thing.
It's
But
green.
huh?
It's green.
Okay.
Isn't
And
green
then-
one of your favorite colors?
I don't know. No, yes.
No.
It's not a shitty color like red or nothing, but I don't got no problem with green. Anyway, so then there's a bunch of like cards and stuff in there, stickers and things, I guess. And then some leaves. So what's up with the thing of leaves?
Well, they were all leaves that I gathered, and not all of them held color, but they're ones that you don't have down there.
You know, nothing was labeled. That's why I'm wondering, like, okay, here's box stuff and then some more stuff. Some of it was wrapped like this, as packages or what. And like I say, I'm not sure if there's significance to that little robot guy who does some sort of dance or something. And then that's a squirt gun.
Uh-huh.
More Velcro. A license plate. I'm not sure what's going on. Now I don't know if you know, but I got basically a hallway of license plates. I'm not saying
Oh,
I
wow.
get license plates from people. I just find license plates. It's one of those things. If you look for them, you find them. So that went on the wall of license plates. I don't know what the story was though. It's just some Nebraska license plate, or somebody like Travis is driving around without a license plate now, or what's going on?
No, it's from my old Ford Exploder named Gear Jammer. I signed it for a resident of mine from the group home who passed.
Oh, okay. Right on. Well, yep. I have a bunch of license plates from my grandpa's car, from past cars I've wrecked, and then I found a whole slew of license plates in a missile silo one time from Arizona. And who knows what the story is with a place like that. And then different license plates from, going hunting in places. And again, there's no reason that a license plate would just be off in the middle of nowhere unless it's a fucking horrible story to it. So I'm sure Angelina would like contemplate what all the hell stories might be going on with all my license plates, but that one's going to be added to that. So I don't think you knew that, but somehow you knew that, and thanks for sending that. Now the shirt is another story. I'm not a big fan. I am a big fan of the United States flag and the flag code, so I'm not a big fan of stuff that takes our flag and does weird shit to it. It's art or whatever, so that'll get passed along to somebody in Patreon or whatever. The sugar thing with the chocolates or whatever. Thanks for that. I don't know what the deal is with the hand-eye thing. Some kind of hand-eye coordination.
Just another wind-up toy. Something to battle the dancing robot.
Yeah. Now wrapped up 99-cent. I think you wing that type of glider type of thing with a rubber band.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of them, like not two of them to wing at anybody. Some kind of a war, but just one. And then you take a business card and you cram it into like a thing to make it into a letter opener. I use whatever sharp near me, but I'll use that one eventually. I do use that for opening up letter type of letters. So what's the deal? A bunch of John Wayne DVDs. Here's the thing. I've been doing my taxes right now, and like 90% of the freaking pain in the ass of doing my taxes is I don't own a laptop with any kind of DVD player or optical drive anymore. So I appreciate it, but that's going to be going to Patreons as well because I don't have an optical drive, like literally. I do on old computers, but I don't use them. I just watch everything streaming at this point. But did you buy that, or was that like something you already had?
No, I got that. I got it at one of the pawn shops that I go to.
Right on. That's what I kind of figured. It didn't look like it was brand new or nothing, but here's the thing. I've got about 3 or 4 things over the years to get like John Wayne movies, but this one's a little unique because it's a bunch of his black and white ones. It says it's like 15 movies, and it's like probably 15 before any of the main big ones, which is kind of neat because if you really like John Wayne, those are hard to get for one, and or at least to get a bunch of them. You can get 1 or 2. There's like 5 that are always out there, but they're so similar that nobody bothers to make them all, and they're not the same. They are very similar, but they're different. So I'll probably watch them all. Well, I guess I can't watch them all. I was going to say I'll probably watch them all and then move them on, but I'll just end up moving them on. But I've seen them all. I'll take some pictures though and use it when I am going to do a project here with the John Wayne movies. There's like 176 of them, and I forget. I was pretty close. I was like 150 in or something crazy, and then I lost the file thing that I was using to keep track of it all. So I'm going to redo that, and I'll use this as part of it. But I appreciate it. A lot of this stuff will go be repurposed to Patreons and stuff. What was the deal with the little wind-up robots?
Oh, I really hope you hold on to that. That's, well, first of all, it's a dancing robot, and it will always be there to shake booty. And I know you like robots, and yeah.
I am aware of robots, but I never went around saying I like robots. I don't really have robots around.
Well, I guess as often as you mentioned robots, I thought maybe it was a good idea.
Right on. So yeah, appreciate it. And like I say, definitely one of the most eclectic, unusual, and interesting of the unboxings. Usually somebody sends me something. Although erstwhile is probably right there next to right behind you, right there with you, sending me a bunch of robot fingers out of nowhere. That was pretty cool. So, but otherwise, I had a couple of people send me stuff that's interesting, but yeah, I appreciate it because I'll do that. I'll post that as a regular video where I'm like, because I didn't know what the hell to expect. I didn't know what you're sending me. It cost $25 fucking to send me that box too. So I appreciate it. That wasn't insignificant. But anyway, as I was opening, I was like, what the hell is all this? And then I'm like, there's like nothing telling, like, I don't know what this is for. Like, what's this all about? I knew there had to be stories behind some of it. So I figured doing it live like this would be the way to get the best bang out of that buck. But like I say, I'll post it as a regular one also, because hopefully it'll inspire somebody to have some fun with it, because it's not supposed to be like, I need commodity, send it to me, or send me your free thing that you draw, or you not draw, but you build, and then I will draw a bunch of people's attention to it, or something like influence or anything like that. It's time to use these platforms to have some fun, right? And hopefully somebody out there who's a Patreon will dig getting the movies or the shirt or the wind up eyeball thing from that got bounced around. A certain amount of this stuff, you can sign it and bounce it around, or add something to it and bounce it around, right? If you look at Ape out there, he's a good example of somebody that digs that whole concept of like having some fun with stuff.
You had a good time putting it together. I'm glad you enjoy it.
All right, so let's see. Where was I at? I guess Garrett's down $10 out there. Appreciate it. Did you miss something again? I can't. What's going on with this guy? I think I could probably kill this one. And why is everybody so small? Why did you all get so small on this screen? Doing that intentionally? Is it because of this is up here?
Found a potion.
I guess it's because 5 of us. I like it better because you can see more patches, but it looks like you're all tiny. I'll put all the icons up at the top, and me and him will stay at the bottom. Let's see. So, oh no, it looks like Barbecue's trying to shoot my dog. Let's do this. And now it looks like Barbecue's trying to defend that monkey who Mello's standing next to from this dinosaur. And Woods is just like watching it from that boat. At least on my screen. Is it the same on everybody's screen? The monkey is next to Mello and in the middle? Okay. Let's see where we at. So then everybody's laughing at each other.
Barbecue if he's going to take out a T-Rex.
Do you need to kill the T-Rex or just make noises? Does a T-Rex have ears, and will it be scared of a gunshot?
This is actually a BFR.
Not Angelina's, because I'm guessing she would take her shooting. Like your dinosaur would have shot before.
Well, you've seen the one that's like wearing all the tactical stuff, so it's like a.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Trained T-Rex.
Both shooting. It might be startled because it's used to wearing ear pro or whatever, but I don't think it really cares. It's probably going to do something mean to that monkey and then eat that barbecued chicken wing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
So,
I'm out of the ocean. I'm good.
Wood's got a pretty good
I'll just
thing.
pop.
The only problem is if it decides to slosh through that water you're floating in, then you might get knocked over or something, right?
Surf it, baby.
Although you don't really see dinosaurs sloshing around. These T-Rexes. Godzilla goes out in the water. You don't give a shit. But you never see T-Rexes in the water, do you? Or was there a T-Rex in King Kong? Very rarely do you see a T-Rex wading out into the water. You know why? It makes sense, obviously, once you think about it.
Little
They
arm.
can't,
Little arms
what?
that can't doggy paddle.
Little arms, they can't put them floaty things on their arms as easy. Right? They could, like, put little tiny ones on is all, and that wouldn't be enough to hold them up.
No water wings for T-Rex.
Oh, maybe one of them noodles. Maybe if they had a noodle. Back in my day, we didn't even have such a thing. If somebody would have thrown a noodle into the water, they probably would have stopped it, made everybody get out of the pool, and then pulled that thing out of there, and then let everybody go back in. They would have thought it was dangerous or something. Who put that piece of foam in the water? Get that out of there. Okay, you kids go swim again.
Sword fought? We would have sword fought each other.
So I use the noodles to try and drown my kids. So what I'll do is I'll stick them underwater so the hole fills with water, and then I put my mouth on one end, and I have them put their mouth on the other end, and they're supposed to try and see if they can blow the water at me and vice versa. And they never realize that I've got much more lung capacity than them. So then they start blowing and I start blowing, and then they have water come out their nose and stuff and start coughing, and it's always good fun. What's that, Woods?
That's just good parenting. A little trauma.
That's what I thought.
Teach them not to trust anybody, including their dad.
And the best part is they keep coming back for more.
How old are they again?
9 and 7. The youngest is 2, so he hasn't experienced it yet. But
The 9-year-old should know better and be like, pass.
Exactly. But every year seems like
or like pinch the tube so that you blow into it and it hurts or something because they've got it pinched or something, like kink it. So that, you're basically blowing into the wall or something.
But in all honesty, it takes quite a bit of air to get that water moving. But once it starts moving, it's like a blowhole for a whale.
Well, that's good that you're swimming with your kids, because my dad never did because he doesn't know how to swim.
Yeah, we had a pool for a minute when I was young and not very long, and it was more like I had the pool to myself. No one ever.
We'd go out on lakes, and me and my brother would be jumping off the boat, swimming around, because we learned to swim as little kids. And he put a life jacket on him, but not us. He had him in the boat. He figured that one of us could save the other one.
Well, you're younger, so that means you could swim better. You're less weight.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So going back to 2A, we got. I feel like I missed something. Then we got the 2A groupie. I don't know what that was all about. It was a while ago. 16. So that was half an hour. 16 minutes ago. Again, Garrett dropping $10. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'll watch live chats during the day. The financially successful J chats, and it'll be like super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat, and then like they'll talk about the super chats, but they don't even be like, oh, $10, $25, $50. Like, fuck, I don't make that much in a fucking week, and I'll watch one fucking chat do that. It's fucking crazy. So I definitely appreciate the super chats. I'm not begging for them, but I definitely appreciate it. Thank you. Nobody else appreciates super chats as much as this chat. Let's see. $2, 2 lowercase a. I don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about globe?
We were heckling barbecue.
Probably. There's not even an A in barbecue. Just saying. Well, there's no A in BBQ. I guess let me put it that way. Technically, I guess there's a couple of A's in barbecue. Let's see. Yankee. What's the same? Yankee would love them, but he probably already has them. I don't know. Probably something out of that box. Always keep a booty shaking robot. The world seems to be going that way anyway. I don't know what it does. It does some kind of a little dance, huh? Like it waves its arm or something. I didn't take it out of there yet. They were in the chat room pool. I don't know what that means. Nice thing about the kids, they're always replaceable. Hopefully a new batch knows how to swim. And you teach the new ones about what happened to the old ones so that they don't.
Exactly. I tell them all the time, mess up. I'll say I can always make 2 new ones.
Well, you should start telling them about the last kids.
I have the technology. Oh, shoot, we lost Woods.
paddled off.
Certain people have like a battery level, right? Like your phone or whatever, and then at a certain point, you don't got no more 2A left in you. It just happens. You could attach your new robot to your old one. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know. Never thought about that. You ever considered attaching a bobblehead to the robot, Angelina, so that it would boogie around as the robot's doing its thing?
Yeah, thought about it.
I never thought about it. I don't play around like that. Robot work is serious work for me, so I don't have time to think about it being crazy like that.
It gives it like a flair of personality, which makes it work better.
I figure if you give the robot too much personality, it starts losing its place and like getting uppity. It thinks it's not a robot anymore. Like it shouldn't be just robotic, and that's where I'm worried about. I think that's it. Does anybody else want to say anything else before we get out of here? I got to start rationing the show down to 2 hours for 2A because it turns out if we go to 3A, I got into a whole other tax bracket. It's a real pain in the ass. So
AlanAnchor.com.
yeah, why don't we talk about that? You've got more than a slew of them coming out right now. Actually, we'll talk about Alan Anchor, and then I think right now, Erstwhile is winning at this point. The battle. Oh, excuse me, I'm falling asleep. Erstwhile is winning. That was like took me an hour to yawn. Erstwhile is winning the battle over there. Oh, I'm not screeching. Erstwhile is winning this battle on the Instagram over here. I'm gonna go look at Angelina's posts, and then we'll come back. And if anything has changed, so be it. If not, Erstwhile is going to be walking away with the first of 6 of these packages. Here's the thing: of 13 of the things he's getting. You don't even know how many other things he's getting because he's achieved more than one stage at this point, or platform, or level. I would want to go to. Can I go to Patch Club? Is that illegal?
To
be a member.
I guess it is. Yeah.
So yeah, you can. This one is new today, right?
That one is new today. Yeah, that.
I've seen it coming. So I've seen it in various versions, but this is now available today. People can buy it, or is this some kind of maybe if you put money down today, you'll see it in the future if we feel like it.
Oh no, that is shipping today. I mean, well, within a day or so when you order.
Real today, yeah, the one that's tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Right on, and then obviously modeled after the 1976 Centennial pattern, which many of the I voted buttons or stickers are modeled after.
Yep, very actually in the official Pantones of the American flag, which that's a detail that Alan Anchor.
Any old red works. Any old blue is adequate because it's just freedom and liberty or whatever. It's no big deal. So that's why your colors look real and all the other ones look like some kind of like apple color and blueberry color and don't look like your actual flag ever.
Yep, that's why my colors look real. What about
what's the story with Swear Soda? There's all these Swear Soda things around now.
That's from have you seen the video for that?
I've seen the video like a million times. What does everybody think of the video? Barbecue.
What video?
The lemonade. What is it? Twisted Tea.
I died laughing after it had happened. I did not realize it was Twisted Tea though, because obviously my vision, as we all know. So I had showed it to a friend, and they had actually told me that the guy had slapped the other guy with some sort of beverage, which I thought he had just open hand slapped him. And I was like, oh, snap, which made it all the more funny for me. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good stuff. Incredible restraint shown by the guy that actually did the slapping. I feel like he could have handled matters with that other person a lot earlier than he did. So incredible restraint shown by him.
I was muted, but thanks to somebody just bought some over at the store. Thank you very much. Then DJ, what do you think? Have you seen the Twisted Tea thing?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've seen it, but not been able to listen to it. But for that kind of thing, you don't need sound. When it's looped, it gets funnier. But I do wonder if the guy was going for his grip and knew what he was going to do. When he dropped it, he fumbles it, and then when the guy he smacks, kind of like tries to kick it away from him, and then he just picks it up and boosh, and that great response time, great reaction time.
Woods isn't in here, but he would have also had an opinion, and you're not in here, and you have a link, so we don't know your opinion, but you could type it in the side over there. So yeah, I'm glad that you did it with your thing and then played with it. How long did it? You didn't obviously. You had to turn up the heat on the speed on this one because usually things take a minute, and unless you set up the whole thing originally around your production speed, or I mean around your patch production, then that was pretty quick reaction time.
Yeah, well, the supply chain issue that I was facing seems to be cleared up now, so we're going back to super quick. Like probably I would say
Oh, that wasn't like having to steal a child and threaten like their pets or anything. That was just the regular speed of them.
when you do business with Alan Acre, yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, I can do like vector art to sample in 3 days, 2 days, 3 days.
Whatever. I need a replacement for something that got lost in the mail to having it eventually in like 2.5 months. So
that's not bad.
Yeah, we can all show off if we want.
Hey, so I want to point something out that's particularly rad, which is that patch goo.
Yeah, so what's up with that? You're just flaunting the fact that you have access or whatever again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was the mixing of patch goo.
And is this is basically high vis, not glow in the dark, but high vis, visible under regular lighting conditions with great contrast to the black behind it.
Yep, and it glows too.
Oh, it is glowy?
Yep. That new Alan Acre
patches that have full color and glow in them. That's too much. Here's the thing. You buy this fancy patch that has full green color and glow, and then you put that next to all your other patches, and all your other patches look faded and they don't look as bright or nothing. And then you think all your other patches are shitty, and you have to buy a whole bunch of new patches then. Nobody wants to have to buy a whole bunch of new patches.
The new Alan Acre logo thing that I've been using.
This one here? No. This one?
That round one, yeah.
What about it?
Oh, that's nifty.
I just like I wasn't gonna do it because you know how like making a patch is an investment. It's not just like some like you don't just throw that shit around.
Oh my god! I just figured out why I'm not 2A anymore.
Because you don't have a patch.
Angelina, do you have any more of those hashtag 2A or hashtag pro gunnas fuck bracelets left?
I don't know. Maybe.
Let's say.
Maybe the earrings or a choker, but maybe not the bracelet.
I got the.
Rick had sent me one in a swag pack, and I've been wearing that for like 2 months. Well, I don't know if it broke or what, but the other day, which when I say the other day, it was like 2 days after Christmas, I realized that it had fallen off and it was no longer attached to me. I think that's what happened. I stopped being 2A when that fell off.
You probably quit giving a shit about guns. And then Bloomberg was like, hey, buddy, you want to infringe? And you're like, fuck yeah, let's infringe.
Yep.
That's how it happens.
I need to get one of those bracelets again so I can get my 2A back.
Automatic mojo.
You have to send me an email or a message or something for that when I'm at work and can check.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
patch. So if you want those patches that are trendy or keeping up with the current events, what the kids are paying attention to, but otherwise you can just go to plain old Allen Anchor, the old-fashioned Allen Anchor, like are you accustomed to. What's up with this one? Now you're just making patches that look just like people's vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, this dude wanted a patch of his truck, so we duplicated this art and then turned it into a patch. Came out really cool, actually.
And this dude was he's Discord famous, I believe.
I don't know, maybe, yeah. But now he's a patch.
So basically, everybody hangs around with Alan Anchor. Eventually, becomes a patch. Now, is their soul in the patch? Do they have to? Is there a barter, or is it like a voodoo doll?
Oh yeah, it's totally a barter. So like, they give me money, and then I give them patches.
Nice.
Look at that C4 patch, though. What?
Yeah. So I'm gonna need a couple of these at least. This is more my style because if you don't know what it is, then maybe you shouldn't be looking at my patches. And number two, it's subtle as shit. And number three, it's actual, so it's legit. So yeah, I'm gonna need a few of those.
Yeah, that was and the whole new key tag thing.
Oh, this goes like, oh, whatever. I can just make as many keychains as I want now. Whatever. This is what happens when you think you're so good, you can just flaunt it around and have as many items in your store as you feel like.
Yep.
Must be nice for Christmas, whatever. And then look at if you stick stickers on your stuff, it'll last for like 5 years or whatever.
Yeah, I'll probably be coming over and making a bunch of orders, Angelina, and say because I
got
pretty much
people that
cleared out G.
I got people that put patches on their patch panel and they've been up there for 5 years. It's kind of the same thing almost.
I think that acceptance stamp right there, no one knows what that is.
I didn't know what this was. I was going to give this one away. I'm like, oh, good. A big ass square patch with stars on it. I'm like, what is this? And then I'm like, oh, it's the Arsenal stamp from what? Where? I don't know what that
From the
is.
Department of Defense.
Oh, so basically, like this is past the mil spec qual, and it can now be purchased, basically. So yeah, that was pretty neat. So I don't know what you're just like, F you if you don't even know. That's nice. I'm gonna start doing patches like that. Like if you just don't even know, then just don't even buy this. It's not for you. None of your business.
Yeah. Well, that's like, so I try to cater to like, like big brain memes. Like you got to be kind of smart to know what like the underlying joke.
Yeah, people that when they put their patches on their patch panel, they're like holding some kind of fancy brandy or like a coffee that costs too much, and they hold their one finger up and they tear it off in a way with like a little apparatus. Like the people that own Legos and use a little thing to take their Legos apart. That's the kind of people that are into these kind of patches. Like they're at a whole nother level. Their patches are made out of like velvet or something.
Yep.
Or like fur of some kind of animal that's half extinct.
The headliner and their Maserati is covered in Alan Anchor patches.
And they're all like this. They're all like, if you don't even know, you don't even know. Yeah, that was pretty good. Otherwise, yeah. And then whatever. She has a whole bunch of patches and stuff you can buy them or whatever.
That Liberty Bell though, did you get one of those yet?
Yeah, I got one for nothing. I got one because I need to own this place. Yeah, they're pretty neat. Plus you're doing the metal colors. So yeah. Well, so you're gonna go into next year taking over the patch fucking arena, I guess. I don't know if the other patch companies are just gonna like give up or if they're just gonna be unwanted. You know what I mean? Like it'll be neglect, or it'll just be like they'll just feel bad and decide it's the best thing for everyone to just quit. But
So you pushed Angelina out of the printing game, and then she's like, "Well, fine. I'm just going to take over patches then."
she had no choice. She had
Yep.
no choice.
Yep, cool.
Oh man, speaking of the printing game, so
The only thing she can even print now is stickers and decals and flags and like tablecloths and stuff. Like she can't even print books, except she can also print books and business cards and all that kind of stuff too. But stuff out of my printer, she doesn't even print out of my printer.
I'm gonna do a calendar.
You gotta quit bringing my adversaries on here, running me out of business. Next, you'll be doing a midnight chat, 2A chat.
Yep.
Dang it.
I'm gonna call it.
For a while there, I was winning the game. I had printing down, but then I started resting on my haunches, I guess. All right, so I was asking about the twisted tea thing. Garrett saying he thought it was awesome. Dude liked it. Justin was saying he liked it when it was put to music and that. And now Pink is talking about the key tag for his Harley keys. Says louder than your mom last night. Not from Alan Anchor though.
I would still like to see that Twisted Tea thing put to that Titanic song that Celine Dion does, because I saw this thing that said, this song makes everything better. And they started just doing it with random stuff, sad stuff, funny stuff, stuff that's really dramatic. And I'm like, this song does make everything better. And I can just see that Twisted Tea thing being incredible with that long build up. And then when the heavy instrumental part comes, they do the slap. I just think it'd be awesome. And I don't know how to do editing and crap like that. So I just dream at this point that somebody else will do it.
All right. Well, dead air.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing. I'm not used to using Instagram on a computer instead of the phone. So what, is barbecue over there outbidding them? Is that what's happening?
Well, I kind of feel like a jerk coming in there last minute and just being like, boom. But then I felt kind of obligated to bid.
This isn't I mean, I know people have you ever done one of these bid things on Instagram? How did you end it?
I ended it at a specific time.
I should have done it that way, because this is like the least smart way to do it. Because I basically, if I'm looking at my phone in my one hand and my computer on the other hand, like they're not agreeing with each other in order, and they don't have timestamps.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. They were
what?
They were in order up to the $60 bids, and then when I doubled back on it, they just all fell out of order, and I couldn't find a way to reorder them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. You can't sort them. And they don't tell you like a timestamp. They just say 23 minutes ago, 44 minutes ago. So I don't know what to do. So I don't know. It is a fight to the death, but.
Why don't you end it tomorrow at like 2 p.m. your time for 2A?
Nah, I could do that, but then that's not the point. I wanted it to happen tonight. So what we'll do, I think, is say thanks to both of y'all, and there's 6 of them. So if you guys want, you can both have one if you want, or we can figure out some way to virtually arm wrestle or something if you'd rather just have fun fighting over one. But there will be more. I mean, I do have 6 of the, what are they like? They're not the duplicates, they're the leftovers basically. I kept some behind when I do whatever. I had 460 something things to ship. I figured some of them would get lost, some of them got lost. And when I replaced them or whatever, they dwindled, and I'm getting rid of the last, whatever those are called, replacements. So anyway, there's more than one set of 13. So I don't, like I say, I really can't say when I think I'll just say that you got it for 80. But of course, if First of all wants to grab a set, you can have it too. And then of course you guys unlocked multiple levels. I'm not screen sharing, am I? I'm gonna quickly look. I guess I could ask, because some of you are in here. Did anybody get the new one? We'll leave it that way. Without anybody get anything recently? I should maybe put it that way.
I think I know what you're talking about, and if it's that one that's black and white that's new, I have not yet, and I am jonesing hardcore for that.
either your eyes are giving you troubles, or I don't know which one you're talking about. The new one is yellow, so I don't know if you got the yellow one, but I think you are one of the people.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, barbecue. No, it's something else.
I got a whole bunch of stuff that went from eBay, so it's messing with my thing over here, where I normally look to see where stuff is. Oh no, you guys, what am I thinking? Oh, what the hell? No, I sent this shit Saturday, and it's sitting here telling me shipping label has been created. I don't like that. Only one of them says it's arrived. Where did I drop these at? Damn it, I remember now. I dropped them, and I was dropping them in the hole, right on the wall, and there was a hand down there. So I was dropping them off, and they were grabbing them just as I was dropping them. And I was thinking to myself, like, what the hell? Like, are they going to keep taking these, or are they going to, like, literally stop as somebody's dropping? You know what I mean? And I wonder if they did that, if they were just like, well, this is 4:30 and I'm done now. Anyway.
I wouldn't put it past them.
But the thing is, a lot of these were acting weird over Christmas. Angelina, was this happening to you? Like, I think we talked about it. Like, I don't know what the percentage was. Like, maybe even 10% of my packages that went out, when there wasn't that many. So it was like maybe 10%, but it was a lot of packages, right? Went out and we're just sitting there at like on the way, but might take longer than whatever. Like barbecue had one or two like that from me, and none of them came in. I mean, they all went through except for Tony and Clover. Everything went through, but nowhere near the right order. And I just received something today from December that was sent on December 10th from Texas Trucker, or no, from Trucker X. So yeah, things were either stuck in corners or put in holding cells or something. I don't know what happened, but stuff definitely sat for a long time and then all got delivered. So that could be what's happening now, I guess is what I'm saying. That if maybe, oh, you know what though? I did go to a place today and went to pick up something that came in today. And I mean, I thought it was some kind of joke or something. Like they literally couldn't even move behind the counter. There was so much stuff. And I'm like, what is this going in or out? And it was all going out. So I don't know what the hell happened, like how they got so much stuff even in that building. It was like some sort of a sitcom or something. Like they had just a wall of just tiny packages, like normal, like just a ton of packages. I don't know how they would have to unload a whole truck into this place. Which I guess maybe what happened, maybe one truck broke down or something and dropped all the packages there as like a holding place for a minute and then got towed away, and then another empty truck was going to show up. That's about the only thing I think they could explain it. But anyway, so there all kinds of weird stuff's been happening even after Christmas, but I don't think anybody's got the new yellow one yet. So that's a lot of chatting. Celine Dion is negative 2A. Oh.
Yeah.
So anti 2A, in other words.
She's like an expat Canadian, and she's that French Canadian variety.
It's unfortunate that she's the one that actually, records that song because it's a good song.
Is it that near, far, wherever you are thing?
Yeah, but
Okay.
like when it's put to different things, it just the dramatics of it just makes everything better. It doesn't matter if it's sad or funny or something that's like this Twisted Tea thing. It would just fit so well.
Okay, well, I think barbecue just got blown out of the water. I appreciate that, Alan. Or I mean, erstwhile. It's precision manufacturing on the other side, but threw out a $99 one, so I'm guessing that's the end of it tonight. But thank you very much.
Snap! Erstwhile, it's so freaking 2A.
Yep. Well, that gives them 2A status. That purchases 2A status, which is even better than regular earned 2A status because it lasts longer and it's better. But then also it'll unlock a couple other what do we call them? What did you call them? Achievements? I don't play enough video games, but appreciate it. I think I can find some other stuff here to send your way. Thanks for that. And we'll do, like I say, one on Patreon is happening as we speak. And then I don't know if I'll do another one on Instagram, but do one for sure on Parlor. It's very similar, I don't think anyone's done anything fun on Parlor. So just to try to have some fun on Parlor. And then if somebody's really jonesing for something, let me know. But the goal is just to have some fun and play with some of the different platforms. With that, anybody else want to say anything before we head out? I'm not even kidding this time. We're going to really do it. So, no. We're back to